Okay, we are live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Thank you to everyone who's joining.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I think he's frozen. Is it just me?
Yeah, I think he
I'm
is.
back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
Sometimes we have issues with this whole network thing and technology. Um, but yeah, I think we're live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Twitter as well. Thank you to everyone who's joining from all the platforms, and I can see your comments as well. This is Wakawaka Doctor. I like to say your one and only Wakawaka Doctor, bringing you the best gist when it comes to travel and migration. And I'm hoping that over the next 1 to 2 hours, depending on the availability of all of us, we'll be able to help you guys who are watching make informed decisions about the best places to go. This is supposed to be a debate, but it's not going to be the conventional way you know it. We are going to help you with information to help you achieve your goals. And that's why I've brought gurus from all around the world. Look, it's not easy to get these people. Gurus from all around the world. I'm going to be partial here. I'm not sexist, but I'm going to be partial. So I'm going to start with the guys. Or no, I'm going to start with the ladies because it's International Women's Day. Let's give them the stage.
There you have it.
So I've got friends from the United States. I've got Dr. Adi here. I don't have words enough to, qualify her. She's excellence overall. She's lived in Finland. She's lived in Canada. She's lived in the United States. She's worked. She's got records in several universities across Canada. She's a fantastic, super fantastic career coach and has helped hundreds and hundreds of people find their path in different careers. She's someone I know I can stick my neck for when it comes to finding you the best career that suits what you currently have in multiple countries around the world. So that is Dr. Adi. She would also have the opportunity to introduce herself, but this is just me giving my own introduction. Okay, that's Dr. Adi Olubamiji. Thank you very much for coming on this live stream. Second lady I've got is Florence Akpan. She is a licensed immigration consultant in Canada. Canada. And she's also amazing. I've seen a lot of her work. I think very recently you were in Nigeria as well, educating people about the opportunities that exist in Canada. And she's going to be doing a lot of talking and a lot of gisting and giving you information that would help you move to Canada. Another fantastic lady I've got here is Yeti. Yeti, I've known Yeti for about 4 or 5 years, I think at the start of Wakawaka Doctor. And Yeti has lived in the United Kingdom. She is a lawyer by trade and has also helped several people move to the United Kingdom. She has vast experience with jobs. She works in the UK. She's helped students move to the UK. So she's got vast experience with respect to the UK. I've got another international global woman who lives in the future. She is Mama Australia. Anything with respect to Australia, she's definitely the one you want to be talking to. Jane is also a licensed immigration consultant who has helped many people move to Australia using the various visa pathways, and she'll be talking about them here as well. Thank you very much, Jane, for joining us. Now let's come to the men. Okay, I've got the one and only Mazi TT, and I'm sure that people around TikTok and on Instagram and on Facebook are very familiar with Mazi Titi. He's got a very, very good migration story. As much as I know, started all the way from Cyprus to Poland, from Poland to the United Kingdom, from the United Kingdom to the USA. Our stories kind of,
So sorry
you
for
know,
cutting you short, sir, but I can't hear a
yeah,
thing. I can't hear anything you've been saying. Like, do I need to join and like go out and come back?
you can't hear us.
I
Wow.
can't even hear you, sir.
So maybe you check your mic
Okay,
settings.
I'll try to like go and come back.
Yes,
All
check
right,
your
sir.
mic settings. Yes. Okay, so that's Mazi Titi. He is also a very fantastic migration guru that has a community of, you know, almost 1 million across all social media platforms, and has helped numerous people move to several countries. So he'll be sharing his experience. Our stories kind of almost meet in the middle, and so it resonates a lot. And I want to thank you very much for taking out the time as well. All these people that I have here, it's not been easy to get them to come together and do this, so I do not take this for granted at all. Our last guest is in Russia. He's just had some technical difficulties, but he's going to join in soon. So we are in for a treat. So this is Japa Wars, and it's supposed to be about which option is best. There's a lot online. You know, if it's not, even if you don't, you know, depend on Wakawaka Doctor or Mazi Titi or Dr. Adi or Jane Kenix or, you know, Florence or any of the guys here, you would find a barrage of information that is whether polluted or diluted or, you know, true or fake. It is everywhere online. All right. But we have the knowledge, the technical know-how, the experience, because we've walked the walk. You know, I left Nigeria to Saudi Arabia, from Saudi Arabia to Dubai, from Dubai to the Republic of Ireland, from the Republic of Ireland to New Zealand, from New Zealand to the UK, back to Qatar. And I can tell you, based on my experience of having lived in over 7 countries, working as a medical doctor, and visiting at least almost 80 countries, it gives me that opportunity to be able to share from my own experience. And that's what everybody here does. Okay, so you would have the opportunity to hear from them firsthand, and you'll be able to also ask your questions. This isn't planned, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Anyone who wants to take the bait, who's going to be the first to go to either defend where they stay and just talk to us? Who's gonna go now? The ladies don't want to go first.
Ladies first. Ladies first. International Women's Day. Ladies first.
All right.
So
Hi,
let
everyone.
the ladies have it.
I'm not actually going to say much, but I just want to say one thing before we start so that no one asks that question. And it's about, you guys already know what I want to talk about. Can we not talk about snakes? So it's kind of defense, but it's not defense, it's reality, fact. So when people will be asking, is there snakes in Australia? Everywhere? And recently I always say yes, it's everywhere, even in the airport. Like they come to your house and they bite you. The thing is, I've lived in Australia for 11 years. I'm an Australian. I have never had any encounter with snakes. So it's really amazing how people back home see snake in Australia, whereas we that live here, we don't see them. Okay. So there is no snakes everywhere in Australia. All right. So any other person can start. That one
Thank you for that. Thank you for that note.
But Australia is home to some of the world's most deadliest reptiles.
Oh, so we have started now.
Half of Australians live far away from the Australia themselves.
Okay, let's see that. Where are you from? You are from Nigeria, I guess. Have you ever
100%.
lived in the bush?
It's not a banter. I'm saying, is Australia
I
home
just want to
to
give
some
you
of the world's deadliest reptiles? Yes or no? The spiders are dangerous. If they are controlled,
you live in the
yes.
house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just want to give you an analogy. You are from Nigeria. Have you ever lived in the bush of Nigeria?
Yes.
What do you mean by bush of Nigeria?
Any bush, like in Nigeria, if you live there, you will see snakes.
No, we don't
So
see those type of
no. Hold
dangerous.
on. You will
We
see
don't see
snake. You
those.
will see even lion. You will see other things. So
No, we
when
don't see
people
those
talk about
dangerous
the
ones.
deadliest animal in Australia, they are talking what you will see in their bushes, wildlife. So when you see these online, it doesn't mean they live with human beings. That's what I mean. All
Okay.
right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, Dr. Adi, do you want to go first? You are in the US at the moment, and Uncle Donald Trump is dealing with you guys and dealing with the rest of the
Dealing
world,
with everybody.
dealing with everybody, dealing with everybody. Is the US, and of course we have a community that is not just Nigerians. We have Ghanaians. I think they can still apply for the US visa. We've got East Africans as well. We've got Indians as well watching this. Is the US, with your experience of having lived in the US, being a US citizen as well, is the US still favorable to people who want to take advantage of it?
So I would say before we debate which country is the best, let us agree on some fundamental. Migration is not a one size fit all decision. Everybody is at different stages in their lives when they want to migrate. And migration is very relative based on your age, based on how much you have in your pocket, based on what your long term goal looks like. So I don't want to start to say the US is the best at this point. And I feel like for people watching us tonight, I would not tell you that America is the only answer to migration. If your budget is in alignment with what Russia can offer, that could be an opportunity for you. I started my journey in Finland because I didn't have money and I was looking for a place where I could get free education. Oh, is America still good for anybody to move to today? I want to say something in pidgin. Uno go no no, right? And today everybody's watching the news and they have opinion about every country. They have opinion about the US. People think we're in war. My parents call me every day hoping that I woke up the next morning that they haven't bombed us because America is currently fighting another country. And that's not the case. And I have had many people say, oh, that place is not safe. There's gun violence. Well, that's also relative. Is America the answer to every problem? It is not. But if there are some things that make America very attractive to immigrants, and if you're talking standard of living, if you're talking, being able to earn, Americans out earn everybody today. So when it comes to, what is your own aim? You need to decide if you're hungry to make money, if you're hungry for a place where all the things that you desire as an immigrant may happen fast, I think the US may be the answer. But can you afford it becomes another question. If you're coming as a student, America is one of the most expensive places that you can come for school if you're not on scholarship. The visa has a lot of restrictions. It's difficult to get US visa compared to other places like the UK. So America is not everybody's answer. But if you're over 40, at that point, you're not playing anymore. You don't have the luxury. I started migrating at 23. I could go to Finland, from Finland, branch UK small, then enter Canada, and then now get to America at 38 or 36, right? Or 35, whatever, in my 30s, right? But the thing here is if you're over 40, you're trying to migrate, you must be looking for a place that will give you comfort long term. You must be looking for a place where your family will have stability. You must be looking for a place where you can call this place home and actually thrive and not survive. If that is what you're looking for, I will boldly tell you that America is the place for you today. You're an entrepreneur. You're thinking, I need to make it big. I need to expand my business. I'm looking for my business to thrive better. Americans have the buying power. America is the land of bring an idea and dream as big as you want, and you would win. For an average Nigerian, that's how we think. We're dreamers. We're challengers. So I love this country for that. And I'm not talking from not knowing. I've lived in places. And this is the place that I would tell you have allowed me to be anything I want to be with zero restrictions. So I pause there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I need to say this. So for the first introduction, and Dr. Adi has done fantastically well. Everybody has 3 minutes, so she's used that 3 minutes right on the dot. Okay, so that's the US for you guys, and that's an introduction into the United States. Florence, do you want to take the next cue?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Adi. Very powerful start, of course. For Canada, my name is Florence Akpan. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, founder and lead consultant at InfoPlace Canada. We focus mainly on Canada. I live in Canada. I've lived in Canada for over 20 years. I moved to Canada in 2024, so it's going to be 22 years later this year. I came here as an international student, so I have journeyed through all of the various immigration statuses in Canada and also watched the Canadian immigration system policies change and evolve year over year to what it is right now. To Canada, in terms of immigrating, just like Dr. Adi had said, it really depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what your long-term goals are. Your
Is everything good?
crucial.
Oh, okay.
Your finances are crucial when it comes to immigrating to Canada. Canada still remains the country, one of the great countries where you have, like when it comes to relocating permanently, you could actually, right from your home country, be able to get permanent residence and come to Canada. The pool is smaller now, but it's still there available, and opportunities are still there for people who are looking to achieve that. It's also still one of those countries where people are able, depending on the areas where there are labor skill shortage, that you can still secure jobs from your home country and come into the country, into Canada as well. Study is still big. Canada is one of the countries where as long as you're going to a designated learning institution in Canada, in the program that the government has designated as a PGWP eligible program, which is the post-graduation work permit, you would be able to get a postgraduate work permit after, be it 8 months, 1 year, up to 3 years, which in some countries, they leave those post-graduation work permit to like master's programs and things like that. But in Canada, you could do a diploma program. If you did a 2-year diploma, you could get a 3-year work permit, which typically would open you up to an opportunity to eventually find a way and find a pathway to transition. Honestly, Canada is a country that immigration is not an option. Immigration is in the fabric, in the economic policies. Canada needs immigration to thrive. So if you're looking for a country where when you come as an immigrant, you're not just going to, like, in as much as there may be a little bit of push and tug here and there, but the truth is, the Canadian system, the Canadian economy needs the immigrants. When you look at the demographics of Canada right now, lots of aging population, people need to fill those jobs. There are areas of labor shortage. They're trying to build various communities across the country, not just the big communities. So there's a lot of opportunity, and not just for you as a professional, which is where we need to shine a lot of light on, is that you can thrive even as an entrepreneur in Canada, because there's so many gaps and a lot of opportunities for people to come in and fill the gaps and build businesses. And we're seeing immigrants doing that in various fields and thriving as well. So there's a lot when it comes to Canada, but again, it's going to come down to what your own long-term goals are. And Canada is one of the countries that also has one of the, I would say probably the simplest when it comes to getting their passports. It's very clear that if you do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could potentially get to securing that Canadian immigration, that Canadian passport as well, which opens you up to a variety of opportunities worldwide and even in Canada, and being able to add yourself to that, to the economy as well. So long-term benefits. There are countries where it's tougher. You can come in as temporary residents, but transitioning to permanent resident or green card or permanent there could be challenging. But in Canada, if you follow the rules and be very strategic from the get-go before you come into the country, you could find yourself achieving that a lot easier, eventually getting to a Canadian passport as well, which is the ultimate.
Well, thank you very, very much. That was another powerful introduction. Thank you very much. So, guys, you've heard about the United States. You've heard about Canada. Now, let's take a very long trip to the other side, United Kingdom. Yeti, what have you got to say about the UK?
Thank you so much, Dr. Adi, for your speech at the beginning, as well as Florence. It was really great. So for me, the United Kingdom, I would say my first point would have to be with, when I was trying to relocate abroad, I did a lot of research as to where I wanted to go to. I considered Canada, I considered America, and the United Kingdom. Those were my 3 countries. But one thing stood out for me, and that is, the way the UK culture is interwoven. I'm someone who is really family oriented. you know, I wanted that cultural background. I wanted somewhere that I will still belong. And if you're Nigerian, you'll know that coming to the UK, because I visited Canada recently, my cousin over there, and this is not a rebuttal against Canada. This is just my personal perspective. It was somewhat lonely, you know, it wasn't home away from home. And that is what I felt over the years living in the UK, even if you don't have any family members, right? You don't have a cousin, you don't have none of your lineage has ever traveled abroad. If you come to the UK, you just feel so homely, you know, everywhere is closer to everybody, unlike Canada that is really far off. And so if you're looking for that kind of cultural stability, then I'll say that the UK is the place you want to be. Then another reason why I really love the UK as well, that I'll say somewhere that you can't think of relocating to, is there are lots of opportunities if you want to relocate with your family members when it comes to, you know, when compared to other countries, there are still clear pathways that can let you bring in your dependents. And that is something that is really key, especially like, you know, the other speakers have said that if you're considering your age, so if you're like 40 years and above and you cannot move without moving with your family members, then you might want to consider the UK. That's another point. Then another thing that I love about the UK is our healthcare system. I recently had a baby, and then, you know, I've been here as a migrant. I've not really fallen sick, so I've not really had to go to the hospital. But then the healthcare system, I remember my first antenatal appointment, and I was telling my husband that, oh, we didn't have to pay for this, we didn't have to pay for card. I know that the US is really expensive when it comes to their healthcare system. And then if you don't have good insurance, you don't have all of that, you might end up spending so much money. I can't really say about Canada or Australia what their healthcare system look like. Maybe the speakers will let us know eventually. But I know that if you just want somewhere that is homely, somewhere that is comfortable, somewhere where the government really thinks about the people, then I think the UK can be somewhere you need to consider. I know the rebuttal will probably be like, oh, the UK and our constant immigration policy is not quite stable everywhere around the world. I mean, the US is an example that there's no stability in their immigration policy. They're dealing with everybody in the world, not just themselves. So it really depends on what you want. But if you're someone who wants somewhere that is, if you're Nigerian, now I'm not speaking to Nigerian, but if you're an African generally, since we're comparing other European countries, that you're considering to migrate and you're looking for somewhere that is really homely, somewhere friendly, you know, there's much cultural diversity. I know it's everywhere, but there's something about the UK. I think you can find everyone from all over the world in that country, and then you just feel settled in. You just feel you're abroad, but you're not really abroad, because you settling in the UK, I think is quite good. It's quite easy when compared to other countries. There's that community, you know, there's a community structure in the UK. No matter where you're from, you always find your people, and that's one of the reasons why I think that the UK is somewhere you want to consider. So I'll leave it at that for now.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. So that's been the UK as well. Let's hear from the last lady on our list. We're going to travel into the future and go to Australia. Jane, give us your submission about Australia.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right.
You've got 3 minutes or 3 minutes.
All right. My name is Jane. You guys already know me, the Australian lady. You know, these days when we go online, everybody's talking about Australia. It's really amazing. I see content creators from all over the world, UK, USA, everyone talking about Australia. But it wasn't really like that like 5 years ago, when people don't really mention Australia. Like these days now, you go to Tinder Notes and it will ask a question like, if money is not the problem, which country will you go to? Then I'll see a lot of people typing Australia, and some will say New Zealand. I'm like, okay, something is changing. The thing is that the world has come to know about Australia. Australia is an amazing country. Is when the UK lady was talking and say home far away from home, and that UK is like a home, I was like, that's my slogan. Australia is home, far away from home. Okay, so when you come to Australia, you settle. Just like the previous speaker said, it depends on why you want to go abroad. If you're family oriented, if you want to settle quickly, Australia would be your best destination. For example, you talk about our immigration system. Though some people see it as complicated, but it's one of the most straightforward immigration system in the world. Okay, anybody can do it. You don't really depend on the immigration agent for you to achieve Australia visa. And the good thing is that in some country like New Zealand, every visa you want to get, you must have a job. But when it comes to Australia, you can't go by any route. You can decide to migrate as a permanent resident from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cameroon, from anywhere, okay, and come to Australia without even applying for a job. And then if you don't have money, like money is the problem, you then saw the part of visa sponsorship. Our visa sponsorship is totally different from the UK one, where you need to go and hustle for a SOS or something. What do you call it? Sponsorship or
COS.
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 Yeah, when I see people from UK doing content about Australia and talking about COS, I was like, no, it's not, it's different. In the sense that for Australia purposes, you do not have money. The sponsor, your employer, foots the bill. So you see, that is why they cannot sell it, because they are the ones spending. So that's why I tell people, no one is going to sell it to you because they're going to spend. Government said to them, you bring this person over when you employ this person. Okay. So this is also a way to give people opportunity. If you have money, you go via independent. If you don't have money, then you start looking for a job until you wear your crown. Let's talk about our life in general in Australia. Let's talk about our weather. It is fantastic, guys. It is very fantastic. So if you don't like cold weather, come to Australia and chill. Okay. I'm sure you know why all the white British are running away from UK. They're all here. I say to people, every white person you see in Australia is from the UK. That's it. Why are they running? Why are they running? What is chasing them? We don't know, but we know. All right. So if you want a fantastic weather, come to Australia and chill. Now let's talk about our healthcare system. You are covered with Medicare. Okay. So I see a lot of people. I'm sure these days you hear about Australia. A lot of people move from the UK. In the last 3 years, a lot of Africans move from UK to Australia. And that's why you can see a lot of comparison online. I see them making content. Some people will say, wow, I went to see a GP and I don't have to wait. I don't have to book. I don't have to do this. You can talk about maybe probably population, because I don't just say things like that, because population of UK, population of Australia, our healthcare system too is totally different in the sense that when there is emergency, there is emergency. You can easily walk to the GP. You can also be covered by your Medicare. So it depends on how you are coming. If you are coming as a temporary resident, you may not qualify for the Medicare, which means you have to pay. So that's what I'm telling to migrants. Before you accept any visa, even from your employer, you need to know the benefit, the do's and don'ts, and you need to do the up and downs of every visa you are grabbing from an employer. Because even employer-sponsored visa, some of them are temporary residents. That doesn't qualify your child to go to school for free, and doesn't qualify you to go and get medical help for free. So, and when you are high skilled, you should be rooted for permanent residents. You should let the employer know that you know what they know and they need you. You go for permanent resident, that you request for it, and it works. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Your time is up. Your time is
oh
up.
my
Your time is up.
gosh, is
Your
it
time
up?
is up.
All right.
Your time is up. Thank you
Oh
very much.
gosh, talk
Don't worry,
about
you
Australia.
get more opportunities to talk about Australia,
All
but your
right.
time is
It's
up
okay.
at the
It's okay.
moment.
Wakawaka Doctor is fine.
Don't worry, you have more time. Femi, I'm going
Yeah.
to come to you now. Femi, you are living in Russia,
Okay.
and what's your submission about Russia? Talk to us about Russia.
All right. Firstly, I would like to start with the fact that I'm very grateful for this opportunity, Doctor. I literally looked up to you for a very long time, so it's a big opportunity. So now let's display Russia to everybody. Firstly, yeah, I have to remove this spec because this is business. My name is Femi K, and I'm a medical student, a final year medical student in Russia, literally, guys. And I've been here for over 6 years, so I am the real deal. Whatever you hear from me now is fact. All right,
Exactly.
so guys, I just want to say something that judging from the fact that a lot of people, the only thing they knew or they know or they want to know about Russia is just that when we were younger, then your mom would be like, why are you rushing? Are you going to Russia? That was the only thing that we actually know about this place. But coming here to find out a lot of things actually got me shocked. So firstly, guys, I want to say something Russia is actually the largest country in the world. I see everybody, bragging about their countries, Australia, UK, and all of that. I think that's one of the things we can also talk about. The fact that we have a very big, um, land, is it land mass and all of that. So there are a lot of opportunities here, guys. And I used to say something that the fact that Russia is actually not a lot of people know about Russia is actually the opportunity that some of us here are actually enjoying. Russia, I feel like, is a very undertapped germ. Not a lot of people are talking about it, and the only thing they are talking about is things like the war. They've spoken about, sorry guys, they've spoken about the war. They've spoken about what else is there? People being enlisted to the army by force, a lot of other things that I'm thinking, oh my God, these things are actually not true. But firstly, I'm going to start with the fact that affordability of tuition, guys. Russia is very affordable. Russia is a very affordable travel option based on the tuition. The tuition here are very less expensive. Even I, as a medical student, I can tell you guys for a fact that I actually am studying very, very in fact, it's very cheap compared to other part of the world because I have friends there and all of that. Also, the cost of living is very nice. Like, it's very cheap, it's very affordable because we spend in rubles here. And rubles to naira now is like 1 ruble is 20 naira. So it's not really like a lot like that. So it's very affordable for you
Every
to come.
currency is better than the naira. Just go.
See, doctor entering us now. But anyways, that's for the cost of living. Then also when it comes to like racism, I've heard a lot about racism. Like, a lot of people have spoken about the fact that Russians are racist. Truth be told, guys, I've not personally experienced racism here. Of course, I feel like a lot of people have their own terms and how they define things, but for us, we're not facing that. I try to be as fast as possible so that my 3 minutes does not elapse. And also the visa accessibility of the visa, right? The visa is not as difficult as other parts of the world, like the Australias, the all of those parts. So Russia's visa is still very much easy to grab, because I used to tell a lot of people that, see, we are not like these people. What we are looking for is something that we can afford. You that that your mom, your dad, they're not capable. Why are you finding yourself, or why are you going to Russia, to Canada and all of that? You can still try your best to do this part. Then later in the future, you can pursue other routes. Even as I'm listening to the people gathered here, I'm also picking up points. Not like I want to travel to you guys' country, but to be able to further buttress my point, because Russia is already a second home for me. So many of us are not that buoyant to really pursue these things that we want to pursue. So I used to say that the best place to still start is usually Russia. Another thing I want to talk about is I used to say this thing, like, even to my own people, I say, have you ever asked yourself, how is life after relocation going to be like for you? Every country that you are going to, I used to tell people, it's better for you to not be in a country than to live there illegally. All right. So this Russia itself, what does it offer you guys? What can Russia offer? Russia has packages called the RVPO. Don't worry, further I'll talk about it because I'm trying to rush now. The VNG, these are packages that after you're done with your university, you don't need to marry a
30
woman.
seconds,
See a
30
lot of,
seconds, 30 seconds.
okay, I see a lot of my counterparts in America marrying women, old women, to just secure stuff. In Russia, you don't necessarily need that. So there are other things to touch on, but I think for that, and the weather is nice. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Femi, for
What are
sharing
you saying?
about Russia.
Good weather is nice. Oga Femi,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too.
I'm in Finland. Don't try me. I know Russia. Which nice. I beg.
Don't worry, I will talk about it later. Like, it's not as the way people see it. Like, I will speak about it in the further.
Don't worry. You will get the opportunity to talk about that. Let's hear from Mazi TT, who is a huge fan of European countries. I don't know if he's going to stick with Europe or he's going to touch on other things. But Mazi, you've got 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Doctor. It's a huge honor, it's a privilege to be here. Which to say thank to each and every one of you guys here that have put this together. It's a huge honor to be called on a huge platform like this to share my expertise and knowledge. As a lot of you know, my journey started many years ago. There is only one country for a black man, only one country for a black man to dream and ask yourself, how high do you want to dream? And that is United States of America. There is no other country. There is no Texas economy is bigger than Russia. Texas economy is bigger than Canada. Texas economy is bigger than Australia. Texas economy is bigger So you don't come and don't promote Russia. I lived in Cyprus. If people who were kind enough to tell me about Cyprus, I wouldn't have wasted my time. But it built me. It built the Mazititi that has helped thousands of youth shape their life. Russia is not a Schengen country, it's not a European Union member, it's not a European Economic Area, it is not a NATO member. So Russia is in none of those WhatsApp groups. You're going to waste the years and you want to still transition out of Russia into a better life because you're still there now. After school is how far. Now, there are so many pathways to move abroad. It depends on how do you want to move? What are you moving with? Is the first question you need to ask yourself. What do you want to do where you are going? What is the life you've envisioned for yourself? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you in skill set? Are you in professional space? Are you in educational space? You ask yourself these questions, then you begin to now dream about where you are going to. Why I said America is the only country for a black man. The state of Georgia alone has 20 to 30,000 black millionaires. That is what America allows you to dream and hone your business. America loves hustle. Every American celebrity has a camera and a prop set. They want to sell themselves. They sell products. If you're a seller, Americans will love you to be a seller. So many countries want to compound your dream. Remember, I've lived in Poland. Poland is way better than Russia to me as a black man. It's a Schengen country, it's European Union. Their tuition is relatively cheap and you work as much as you want. It's also protected as well. Now, when we compare United Kingdom, I absolutely love United Kingdom. I've lived there. It, like Yeti said, huge family background, huge community. But then there is cap as well with the United Kingdom. All right. Canada, beautiful, amazing country, second largest country in the world, but the population doesn't top up. And Canada is still growing. So Canada is still an amazing place for people who want to dream big as well, because potentially, when you look at the map as a geologist and geographic information system analyst, I know that Canada in the next 10 years wants to grow. They want to hit 100 million population. So when people get in now, get settled, Canada is going to grow. The only issue were the taxes and bureaucratic policies, which they might change over the time. But besides that, as a black man, there are few things you are going to go through. Identity crisis. Imagine coming to tell people about Belarus and Georgia. Yes, it's 1 minute, I know. So there are several layers to it. Understand where you are. Your starting point, if you cannot afford Australia, you can't afford UK, you can't afford Canada, you can't afford the US, you can't afford New Zealand. Your starting point must be the Schengen zone. If you're not starting from the Schengen zone, there must be a transitional pathway for you into the Schengen zone. Because from the Schengen zone, there are 29 countries umbrella under Schengen. From there, it's easier. Like when I mean it, is now their money you're going to use to pursue your dream. I will stop here, then we'll move on to the next one.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Mazititi, for that submission. Very strong submission. Very strong. I can see people talking about you on Twitter and saying, this is very good. So thank you very much, guys. Now, I've got questions I'm going to ask everybody to talk about. But before that, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of defend your stand, okay? I've heard, Mazititi bash Russia. Russia might want to defend. I've seen Yeti talk about Canada as being lonely. Canada might want to defend that. I've heard comments about snakes in Australia. You might want to defend that. Dr. Adi, I don't know if, so I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes each to kind of, sort of defend points that have been made against what you know, and just defend your stance. 2 minutes each. Who wants to go first, guys? Who wants to go first?
I think we should do the same order, Doctor first.
The same
I'm
order.
not going first. You guys are not going first. I need to be able to say my own back. No, I was too nice. My introduction was too nice. So I'm not going first. No.
Okay, I'm gonna go. So when Mazi and Doctor were all praising the US is larger than life, literally. That is what they're saying. Well, what's the security level like? What's the assurance level like? What, you're in the US. I have friends in the US. I have lots of friends studying in the US, and every day on their WhatsApp story, I'm even feeling for them like, is it hard? Why is migration supposed to be difficult, even if your president is not making things safe? I feel like people in the US are wanted, like it doesn't want you. Why are you there? You can't, You can't be in a country where there's gun violence, whether you want to say, oh, no or yes. I cannot raise my kids in the United States, no matter how larger than life it is. I cannot be in a country where the healthcare system, I appreciate the fact that there are lots of billionaires there, but not everybody will be billionaires. So we want somewhere where even the average person can thrive. And I don't think the US is that place. So if you want to go anywhere, unless you want to go to the UK, unless you want to go to the US, but I will not be recommending it to anyone because it's not safe. The country is not safe. The president is not even welcoming. The healthcare system, you have to pay through their nose. They can't even give you, healthcare is life. It's not meant to be a right, and you can't even have that for free. So what is there to say
So
about
Yeti,
the US?
you have
Can I
1
give us some
minute.
education on those
No,
things?
wait, Dr. Adi.
No, I would love her to defend it. Honestly.
Wait, at time will come, you still have 1 minute, Yeti. So are you saying now that you're standing on the point that the UK is probably still top 3, top 5 countries?
Absolutely, not the US. And we're not talking of the glorious days. Like maybe before, UK is everyone's dream. But we need to wake up. It is no longer that dream.
So the US used to be everybody's dream, but no
yes,
longer.
I would agree with that. Yes, it was larger than life.
So
The black man's dream. But now the world is awake. The US is not all of that anymore.
All right, thank you very much, Yeti. Who wants to go next? Oh yeah, who wants to go next? Defend your.
Manzi, you don't have anything to say.
I would like to talk about
I have a lot to
January-
say, but I feel
January-
like
January
there are other people who
2026.
bash the US. So let everybody bash the US.
January 2020. Listen, January 2026. London is more dangerous than New York. Go and check it. Statistically, numbers are there. Go check. Now, when you talk about healthcare system, I live in the United Kingdom. Please book a surgery. I beg you to book a surgery. Let them get it done next month.
Mhm.
America encourages you to work. Listen, I'm coming. America encourages you to work. Take out your insurance wherever. It's your money. You decide insurance you want to go with. Do you understand?
But what if you cannot afford it?
Yeti, let him speak. Yeti, let him speak.
I didn't interject you. They treat you first and they post your bill. So there are insurance companies and you're going to get treated first. Now, when you talk about 50% of your companies in the United Kingdom is owned by the USA. So you can't even actually talk about the Octopus is owned by the US. Most of your Cadbury Bonvita in Birmingham is owned by an American company. 90% of your companies are American owned. So if you bash America and they close themselves, UK will crumble. Your energy bills are 50% high right now because of Iran. And when you talk about gun violence, geographically speaking, you use data to understand where are these things happening. America is 50 states. The poorest state in America has a higher minimum wage than United Kingdom. The poorest state, which is Mississippi. Google is your friend. Statistically, go and check it. The median earning in Mississippi is higher than that of United Kingdom. We cannot base our life on health care. You've been in how many times have you been to the hospital? That is not why you can't get paid and pay all by bills. You make your decisions. There are states, Oklahoma has a good weather. Texas has a great weather. Alabama has a great weather. So you decide where you want to go. And whatever field you choose to, America has 50 states. You can be remote and work for a company in California while you're living wherever you're domiciled in, pay your taxes. People get tax refund, $10,000. People who are on OPT get up to $10,000 on tax refund, $6,000, $7,000.
Mazititi,
So that is my point.
Your time is up. Thank you very, very much.
I would leave that debate right now because somebody else is going to bash the US and I'm going to take that. So thank you, Mazititi. You really have done my job here. I appreciate that.
Florence, what have you got to say? Florence.
Yeah, maybe I want to add. I should just take my 2 minutes, right? So I've seen people talk about the various visa categories that are easy to get. I've seen Florence say that unlike the US, that you can get permanent residency from your own country. The US has several pathways for you to get permanent residency with no job offer from your own country. Yeah. There's EB-1A, there's EB-2 NIW. There are so many options. I'm Canadian. I'm a US citizen. I lived in Finland for 4.5 years. How I got to the US was a job brought me to the US. You're looking for visa sponsorship job. The US is the hub of innovation. China is taking the lead on that right now, but where Africans want to go, when you're talking innovation, when you're talking industrial revolution, when you're talking getting a job, the US is that number one place. Anywhere. The statistics are very clear. So when we're talking, I'm looking for a job, we have those things here. That's how I came here, a visa sponsorship job. And I was able to convert my status from that to a permanent resident without having to do other things that the Russian guy was talking about. So I want to tell you, if you're looking and saying, can I get my permanent residency from my own country? Yes, you can do that. There are different pathways, especially if you have the education, we have the work experience, and you are able to position yourself very well. The US have multiple pathways for you to be able to do that. Now, when it comes to healthcare, I believe today we're talking to ambitious Africans, people who have education, who have work experience, right? For most of us, I have not seen Africans, especially from where I'm from, who comes to the US to sit down and not get a job. If you have a job right now, you have an insurance that covers you. That insurance coverage allows you to access the health care that you want. And guess what? It's very fast. You need a specialist. I'm Canadian. I had hair loss. I stayed for 8 months trying to see someone to help me, a specialist. 8 months. Here in the US, in less than a week, I was able to see a specialist, right? Yeah, and I'm saying this because, okay, I'm a student, I'm this and that. Your school have insurance coverage for you. It covers you. You have a job. Your job has insurance coverage for you. It covers you. You have now worked in the US for a couple of years. You were laid off. We have Medicare and Medicaid if now you have your papers. So nobody, have you found people who are on the streets who, oh, it's because of healthcare that they died in the US, especially for Africans? I don't think that is something that, I think we need to let that misconception that the US healthcare is not good. First of all in the UK today, all your millionaires and billionaires, when they're sick in Europe and the UK, where do they fly to? New York, Boston. That's where they fly to. Everywhere in the world, you're sick today, you're rich. You come to the US for treatment because that's where the first class treatment are located. Now, let's talk about how much you can make. As immigrants, we didn't come from our own country to come and sit here and enjoy electricity. We came here for prosperity. This is the #1 place for prosperity in the world. Take it or leave it, right? I'm for people going to start in other places because that's what they can afford. But you need a place where you can thrive. You know,
Dr. Adi,
just give me 20 seconds. Let's compare. Go on Google right now and compare what someone with a master's in data science and someone that has master's degree in data science in the UK and the US and Canada and Australia. Let's look at how much they are going to be making, and let's look at the standard of living and judge.
All right, Dr. Adi. Thank you very much for sharing that. We're going to come back to you. Florence, over to you. 2 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you. Very, very heated debates, lots to learn in all of this. And I think I'm just going to circle back on Yeti's message. I think I picked up on some of the things you talked about Canada when you mentioned it. I came to Canada 20 years ago. And I would say, yes, when I came, there was that aspect of loneliness. In the sense that there was not as many immigrants in Canada of our same color, Black African immigrants like back then that there is today. So that impression that it's lonely, people don't have community, I think it may come down to a personal decision in some cases, because there's now a lot of community from various countries, Ghana, Nigeria, name it, in the country, and people are building a lot of those, and we can even find those communities online as well in terms of feeling like home. Yes, Canada is far, it is far away from home for many of us, but again, it comes down to the decision that you make in terms of what the long-term things that you're looking.
We've lost you, Florence. I think we've lost her. Okay, maybe when she comes back, I think her network has issues. So while we wait for her to reconnect.
Okay, am I back?
Yeah, back.
Okay, you're back. Yes.
So I said, I think when it comes down to the conversation that we're having today, it's not about yes, it's good to assess all of these locations and all of these destinations in terms of what is long-term, but the starting point for you to even get to any of this country will remain what are you eligible for, what can you afford. And it's not just about, like Dr. Adi had said, like you can actually get permanent residence right outside the country to America. Same thing with Canada. It's looking at all of these options for yourself, because every person's individual journey is going to be different. In Canada, when it comes to healthcare, I'm going to be honest with you guys here, when it comes to healthcare, there is shortage. And when we see that there is shortage there, what does that tell you if you're in the healthcare field looking for a country to relocate to? That tells you that there is an opportunity for you. Mazi Titi said, Canada is a growing economy. Yes, it is a growing economy. We have big dreams, big goals. The government is doing a lot of things, which means that if you're someone that wants to be a part of something that is growing, a part of a country that is looking for professionals that are experts in any of their field to add impact, for your work to be seen and known probably the next decade, you want to think about Canada if you have what it takes as well to come.
Thank you very, very much, Florence, for defending Canada. Okay, I'm going to come to Femi and Jen Kenix, but for everyone who's listening on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, this is Wakawaka Doctor, and this is Japa Wars. We're talking about which country best suits you. And one of the categories we're going to be talking about over time we'll talk about routes. Okay, Florence will share routes that are open to moving to Canada. Yeti will share routes that are open in the UK. Dr. Adi will share routes that are open in the US. Mazi Titi will talk to us about routes across Europe, Germany, France, Switzerland, Italy, so that you can be able to make your own options. Jen will talk to us about routes in Australia, and Femi will talk to us about routes in Russia. I'm going to come to you, Femi, now. Mazi Titi just said to you that you should shut up and not talk to people about... Of course, we are bantering, right? We are bantering.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know.
don't mean that in a literal sense. Yeah.
Of course, I understand.
You have been in Russia for 6 years. You have helped people move to Russia. You know the advantage Russia gives you.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you have to say to Mazi Titi?
So firstly, Mazi Titi, I didn't know that we are bringing a gun to our knife fight or what now? Because this one just touched me. I was like, bro, let me rethink everything. So I had to write some things down, because everything he said, I understand his point of view, but I'm not going to accept that at all. Right? Because firstly, judging a country based on NATO, for me, is actually not it. Because literally, NATO is just a military alliance, and it is not a development club or one thing about the country. It doesn't really even... In fact, why are you judging Russia with its the fact that it's not in NATO, or the fact that it's not in the Schengen or in the Schengen organization and all of that, Schengen or whatever they call it, right? So because a country has NATO membership does not automatically make it thrive. Because I think what we are discussing here is the opportunity it gives to people like us. Because I'm just speaking about myself. I came here and I got a standard opportunity for myself. And I'm thinking, if we are going to judge Russia by NATO or by Schengen or whatever it is, we can also say that Albania, for example, is in NATO. I hear a lot of things about Albania. Albania is not even like the standard opportunity for anybody right now. Somewhere like North Macedonia, for example, is in NATO. And we also have several countries that are literally very strong. They have strong economies, like, for example, Singapore, we have Switzerland, we have Austria, and they are not even in NATO. So I don't think, because of the fact that Russia is not joining NATO. And I think if you're going to say that, Mazi, I think it's because of the fact that you don't really understand why this war of a thing, the propaganda of the war, why it's really happening. And I hope I'll get the opportunity to really talk about it, because this is Russia's biggest flaw. So Russia does not want to join NATO. There's a reason for that. And do you know that Russia, let me just give it to you guys here, Russia is right now the most sanctioned country in the world. Russia has over 20,000 sanctions, and we are still surviving. So, like, my brother, if you know who Vladimir Putin is, you will not even talk like that, Mr. Mazi. I don't know, Mazi Titi.
Mazi Titi.
Mr. Mazi Titi. So don't let my president come for you, because there are a lot of facts here. Like, I wrote everything down to just banter you, but 2 minutes is not going to be enough for all of that. But what I can say is the economy is not based on NATO. The opportunities are not based on NATO. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much for that. One of the reasons why I actually invited you to come and talk to us about Russia is because over the last year, I've heard people say Russia is the place to move to. If what you have in this life is 3 million, 5 million, Russia is easily accessible. But of course, we have to also look at the other end of the spectrum about, job availability, about whether you can thrive there as an individual, and we hear these stories from people who also have been to the country. I haven't been to Russia yet. I haven't visited, so I cannot talk much about Russia. But you have lived experience in Russia, and I have friends who live in Russia. I have friends who have lived in Russia, and so it's just to help people make their own decision at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong. Nobody has the right or wrong to this. I'm going to come to Jane now. Jane, has anybody bashed Australia?
No.
But I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to
Drum roll for Australia.
defend
Drum roll.
Australia.
So, drum roll for Australia. The thing is that I'm not defending anything anyways. No one has actually criticized Australia in everything we are talking tonight. So that makes a big statement. Okay. But since there was no criticism, let me just talk about something.
Texas has a bigger economy than Australia. That's what I said.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And how much anyway, let's not go there. So when you talk about economy, what are you actually referring to? Are you talking about people just grabbing that money because the economy is high, or people being able to make that money? And the Black people there, the migrants, how much are they striving? All right. So what I want to say is that Dr. Adi has moved from one country to the other, to the other, to the other. And Mazit has moved from one country, their journey and everything. The huge challenges I'm having currently is with people all over the world that have migrated to Schengen countries, everywhere from UK, even Canada, anywhere they want to come to Australia. Cyprus, okay, Mazit, you've been there. If you want to come to Australia, make sure you have something. You are not illegal where you are. There is something you are bringing to the table, because a lot of people move as migrants, student with student visa. They go there, the visa expire, they are not studying, they're just there hoping to move, because Mazit have moved from 1 million country and get to the final destination, which is UK. I think we should be talking about this as well. How do you transition from one country to your dream country? We call them transition countries because our people are stuck. They just move in with study visa. They forget their studies, things are hard. They're illegal, but they still want to move. All right. So what I want to say tonight is that Australia is a good option for you, but there must be something you are bringing from that country you are currently in. If you don't have a legal stay, try and get one. There is need for you to have either job experience. It can be vocational, that is tradies. Australia love tradies. Actually, currently, tradies is running in Australia for visa, both sponsorship and skilled migration. So get something. I'm not going to defend Australia because there is nothing to defend. About the economy one, that's nana. All right. So job availability, good life, I don't know what to say again, family oriented and acceptance. Australia is a multicultural nation. We don't have to hide because we are Black. We don't need to be scared of our police because we are Blacks. We just need to live freely like a home. So I will stop by saying that Australia still remains the best home, far away from home. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. And I'm seeing a lot of comments. Guys, you want countries there are some people that want countries that are very affordable. Just listen when Mazit is about to talk. He will give you all the options. I can see people talking about this. Okay, just relax. We'll get there. Now let's talk about routes. Okay, let's talk about routes. And I think I'm going to start with Florence here. What are the available routes to each person? I'm going to give you 6 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you 6 minutes to talk about this. The routes that are open for people to take advantage of right now in the country you are at the moment. Mazit is going to talk about Europe. Dr. Adi will talk about the US. Jane will talk about Australia. Femi will talk about Russia. Yeti will talk about the UK. Florence will talk about Canada. So over to you, Florence. What are the routes open to people that people can take advantage of right now?
Perfect.
6 minutes.
All right. So when it comes to routes, of course, there are the permanent residence routes, which I talked about, and temporary residence. I wouldn't really call it a route, and I'd like to really clarify that here. First off, when you choose to come to Canada on any temporary residence visa, so a visiting visa a work permit or a study permit, you're telling the government you're going to go back. One of the most popular of all of those routes, the 3 temporary residents that I have mentioned that successfully at a high rate transition to permanent residence, which is the ability to stay longer, is those who come through study and work. So when you come through either being a student or a worker, you could potentially eventually transition to permanent residence. And that's where strategy really comes into place, where you, before you make that move, before you choose Canada as that country that you want to go to. I'm sure in the news today, people would hear a lot of people who came to Canada have to go back. They couldn't end up staying, just like Jane had mentioned. It's about the strategy that you look at from the beginning, the plans that you have. And when you come in on any temporary status, you cannot forget the immigration policy. You can't feel like you have arrived. You have to be constantly plugged into the policies, into the changes, and you have to be flexible and willing to adjust your plans as well. So that's temporary residence. So when you come as a worker with your work experience from your home country, Canadian work experience, you may fall under the category of like the federal skilled worker in express entry or Canadian experience class. When you come as a student, you could transition as well. You could be federal skilled worker if you had work experience from your home country, or you could eventually earn Canadian work experience when you work in Canada with your postgraduate work permit, and then you're positioning yourself for permanent residence eventually. Now, permanent residence in Canada completely changed in 2023, where they introduced the category-based draws. So with the category-based draws, it wasn't more, if you've heard about the express entry system, which is a system that the government selects qualified applicants to become permanent residents in Canada, people from everywhere in the world. I've had clients from the UK, from Australia, different places that have used that particular system to come into Canada as permanent residents. But it was just based on points, and that changed. It's no longer just based on points. It's now based on what the government did is where are the areas in Canada where we have labor shortage, where we have need for immigrants. They have placed different categories that they're looking to fill. Today, one of the top categories is French. It's not that they're looking for workers, but they're trying to build the French language in Canada because Canada is a bilingual country. So if you're listening to me today and you're like, I don't have millions of naira to immigrate, but I can learn French. I can dedicate myself to learn French. I have skilled work experience. I have a master's degree. I have 3 years of work experience. If you can go learn French, you may be able to actually get permanent residence in Canada. It's one of the lowest cutoffs to get into the country right now through express entry. As part of those categories, there are 10 other categories. There's category for healthcare, transportation, education. So if you fit into any of those that I've mentioned, through express entry, which is where you need work experience, you need a language test, English language test, and all of that, you could potentially get permanent residence and come to Canada. Now, all of these things I've talked about, you don't have to have a job in Canada. You don't have to have a job in Canada. It's a point-based system. It's based on your overall profile, and there's a lot of factors that go into that to determine your eligibility and all of that. Now, aside from the express entry, there are other programs such as the provincial nomination program. Most of them right now, they've evolved over the years as well with changes in government policy, and a lot of them are focused on those that already have jobs in those communities. So if you're able to get jobs in a particular province that is tied to a provincial program, you could get to PR after getting the provincial nomination as well. There is the Rural Community Immigration Pilot Program. These are 16 communities in Canada that are looking for workers in specific sectors. So this program is a unique one because it is open to people that are in Canada, people that are outside of Canada. We have clients from outside of Canada who have secured jobs in Canada through this program, and we've applied for permanent residence for them. So there are 16 communities. They're right on the IRCC's website. If you find a job in any of those communities, you are applying for permanent residence and you meet all of the other requirements. So it's not one of those ones where you have to sit in a pool and wait to be invited. You get that job, you meet all the requirements, you're applying for permanent residence, and guess what? You're not just waiting until the permanent residence is issued. Once you've applied for the permanent residence, you can actually apply for a work permit that allows you to come. And there's also the FCIP as well. Of course, there's also the route where there's also the entrepreneurial route for people who have the funds and want to purchase and invest and buy businesses in Canada as well. That's also an opportunity and a pathway as well to get to permanent residence. There is more. These are like big umbrellas, but in each of these, there are other things that you need to do and requirements to get to permanent residence itself.
Thank you very much, Florence, for that expose. I'm going to give you another 3 minutes to respond to these questions. Okay, first and foremost is the fact that people are talking about denial, and I've seen a lot of comments saying visa denials are so high. I think Canada has several, more than 100, I stand corrected, more than 100 different pathways. But people are scared of applying to Canada now because of visa refusals. And in fact, some of the comments here say that is an advantage they will never beat the United Kingdom for. So what's that number one? That's one question I needed to answer. Number two is people are talking about asylum seeking in Canada. We cannot deny the fact that this is a route people take. Okay, people go on visa and find themselves in Canada. Is this something you I don't want to use the word encourage. Is this something that you can speak on? Okay, for those who want to seek asylum, what do they need to know? And number three, how can people reach out to you? You are a specialist. You've helped thousands of people through different routes in Canada. How can people reach out to you? Those are the three things I want you to do in 3 minutes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much.
Can I add one? There's a question from Isami that I think it would be great for her to answer.
Okay.
Where is it? I can't see the question. I can't see.
Is it true that after giving admission to study in Canada, the person will have to pay his or her fees upfront, and in most cases, the visa is being denied because the documents weren't convincing enough?
That's correct. Yeah. Okay. So Canadian immigration is one of the most difficult. In fact, it was easier, maybe I would say 3 years ago, to get like a study permit to come to Canada. I'm sure everybody knows somebody who got a study permit and came to Canada in that time. But right now, because of a lot of fraud and a lot of things that were discovered that were happening, Canada really clamped down on a lot. And also the influx of immigrants were more than the system had capacity for. So they're trying to stabilize the system right now. So that makes the immigration system very, very challenging right now in terms of getting a visa. There is so much scrutiny. Having done this for almost 10 years, we are seeing new levels of scrutiny on visa applications. So it is not a lie that getting a Canadian visa, a study visa to Canada, is very difficult. If you want an easy country, because I've had clients who have they're battling both together and they get the UK visa a lot easier. So if you're looking for an easy country where it's just show your money 30 days, you're getting your visa, that's it. In Canada, it's not about that the money is in your account. They're going to find out who gave you the money, how you got the money, were you able to get the money, should you have had the money? And this is where a lot of people struggle. Many people go getting the admission first and then look for money after. But if you're looking to come to Canada, you need to find that money first, set it up in a proper account that you can have the history and documentation for before you even secure that admission. So then you have clear documents to help you, because with the number of clients that we help and the places that we have the most fights with clients is when it comes to the proof of funds. Not that the money is not there, but how did you get the money? Where are the documentation to support those funds? So Canada is very strict on that. And the other reason why they're strict on that is because a lot of the people who end up coming into Canada and truly cannot afford to study in Canada are those who then end up seeking asylum, because it's too expensive. They can't continue to go to school, and then the asylum system. And I'll just say this clearly. The asylum system is not for that purpose. It is for people who are fighting war, fear of persecution. They cannot absolutely live in their country. So many times, before you can successfully claim asylum in Canada, you have to prove in simple terms, in layman's knowledge, that your country is inhabitable for you, that you will be persecuted, you will be in serious danger if you return to your country. And for many people, that's not it, right? So there are other things that are being done to get to claim that asylum, which comes out and has made a lot of people's life to be very complicated. In Canada, if you seek asylum, you have shut yourself out of over 90 pathways to Canada. because all provinces have policies right there. You claim asylum, you cannot apply. You claim asylum, you cannot apply. And this is what a lot of people don't know, will just choose it as a last resort option, but without reading and knowing exactly what the requirements to be successful in that pathway is. Are they people who have clear fear, persecution, and documented evidence that they need asylum in Canada? Absolutely, yes. And if you're one of those, then that is something you should explore. But if it's not, then that's not the route that you want to take as well. So what I would say, InfoPlace Canada, at infoplacecanada.ca on all social media platforms, you would find.
Can you say that? Can you say that clearly so that people can hear you? How to reach out to you?
Yes, how to reach out to me, myself and my team. We are ask@infoplacecanada.ca. That's the email. ASK at infoplacecanada.ca. And on Instagram, we are at InfoPlace Canada. So InfoPlace Canada online, Google it. You're going to find a lot there. It is not easy. I'll be honest with you. If you're looking to come to Canada right now for a one-year master's program, you are looking at a decent budget of 50 million naira. That's the starting point to study in Canada. And it's not cheap. But if you're able to afford that 50 million naira and come in, you are able to get a 3-year work permit when you complete that master's program. That's when you want to strategically position yourself in a province that will make it easier for you to transition to permanent residence.
But even if they don't have that amount of money, they can use those other pathways that you've talked about.
And I'm talking about studies. Studies, the 50 million. If you don't have that money, you could look into learning French, because learning French for a year is going to be a lot cheaper than you coming to study and spend 50 million. And if every other thing lines up for you, guess what? You could come through express entry. If you're a single applicant, the proof of funds required for a single applicant is less than $20,000 that you need to show, which is less than 20 million naira. It's about 15 there, about 16. So those are the numbers that you're looking at to come through a route that does not require you to spend a ton of money to study as well.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I might not be able to suck out everything from her about Canada, but one thing I can guarantee you is that she's a pro. She's vastly experienced. She's knowledgeable. She's helped hundreds and hundreds of people move to Canada. She knows what she's saying and can offer you advice if Canada is the goal, is the dream. So if I were you, I will go on Instagram now and look for InfoPlace Canada, correct? InfoPlace Canada. That's where you can send a DM and ask multiple questions, because I won't be able to, suck out all the questions I have for her. But you can check her out on Instagram, InfoPlace Canada. Jane, I'm going to come to you for the next 6 minutes. What are the routes available for people who are looking to move to Australia?
Hi. I feel like I'm sleepy. All right. So
sorry, it's 3 a.m. I know. I'm sorry. I think it's 4 a.m. now. I'm so sorry. Please just help us. All
right. Yeah. So we have so many routes. And many of you here already know that. The thing is that Australia have various pathways. Just like I said before, you can move on your own, independent. We call it skill migration route. So we have 190 visa 190. So one thing with Australia visa is that there is a code attached to every visa. So when someone comes to me and say that my agent is offering me this, I say, go back and say, what is the code of your visa? And the agent say, what do you mean? I say, you have to run now. Okay. So Australia codes all their visas. So I'll start with the skill migration route. The first one is visa 190, which is the visa my family used to come here, which is you move as a permanent resident. So what you need for that visa is that it is point tested. You just need to have a skill in the skill occupation list. Another thing is that Australia has a list, which is called skilled occupation list. When people come to me and say forklift driver, I don't know where that is coming from. I think everyone now is learning how to drive a forklift. And they say someone is offering them. I say, but that occupation is not in our skill occupation list. So that alone can guide you to know when you are falling into the hand of scammers, okay? So in that skill occupation list, if you go to Google and search Australia skilled occupation list, you will find it. Type your occupation. There are thousands of occupation there. So once you find that, That is the number one yes for you. Okay. Now, one good thing about Australia visa is the one I say that is very streamlined is that with that point of entrance, that very point where you have found your occupation in the skill occupation list, you can do a lot of things with that. In that list, once you find, let's assume I'm a primary school teacher. Let's assume once I see that occupation, by the side of it, there are other things I will see. One, which visas I'm qualified for, they will list it for you. You don't need agent to tell you that. Another thing is that they will list the assessing authority. So with this visa I'm going to talk about now, they have the same pathway. That is visa 190, which is a permanent resident visa. Visa 491, which is the one I'm advising people to come with if you are still young, like 30 in your 30s, because you guys already know that Australia is huge with age. So once you 45 years is a cutoff for any skill migration. Though we have the one that is not age based, but that one aside, we'll come to that. So once you are still in your 30s, I would say please don't go and banter for permanent resident because it's really very competitive now. Go for 491. The good thing about visa 491 is that it's a 5 years work visa. So you come to Australia, you chill, you can work for any job, any employer, anything, okay? So that you're an accountant coming to Australia as an accountant doesn't mean that if you don't see a job as an accountant, no one employs you that you cannot work. No, you can do any job you want to, as long as you work for 3 years. After 3 years, you apply for permanent residence. Wait, the good thing about visa 491, I always tell people is that once you are inside Australia, the next visa you will go for, which is visa 191, which is a PR visa, you do not need any age limits. So you can be 60 by then, no one cares, okay? So that's a very good visa. Another visa, which is also point tested, is 189. So I say to people, if your occupation is in demand, we talk about occupation in demand, teaching is very much in demand. Actually, if a nurse and a teacher go into a pool today with the same number, with the same point, a teacher will be selected before a nurse. This scarcity of teacher, I'm telling you, a lot of teachers have moved straight from Africa, okay? Straight from Africa, but I will tell you the challenges some teachers from Nigeria are having. I see Kenyans are maximizing this very opportunity. A lot of Kenyan teachers are here in Australia through that route. The thing is that for you to be a teacher in Australia, it is a regulated occupation, just like nurses, doctors, and so on. You need to be registered with the board. And there is a process. Everything is in that skill occupation list. That's why I call it 1 point. What I said, once you know how to use skill occupation list, you can achieve any visa from there. Okay. So 189 is another Obonge visa, like is a permanent resident. You do not need to be selected by the state or territory. We have 8 states and territories in Australia. And those states and territories, they run for visa 190 and 491. So you go into pool, they will select you. And right now, invitation is going since December. State of South Australia just selected 406 people. Western Australia is currently huge on tradies, carpenters, plaster, whatever they call it, mason, electrician, floor makers. It's just those, those tradies that people don't really grade. That is what a lot of states and territories in Australia are looking. But one challenges people from Africa, especially Nigeria, have is that we do not have that system where our vocational education is being recognized. Zimbabwe has it, South Africa has it, and I think Kenya has it. Cameroon as well, I don't know. There's a challenge there as well. But if you can get a formal vocational trades, it's supposed to be our polytechnic, but we don't really do that in our polytechnic. Okay, but I don't know whether Nigeria has a system where they have a vocational trades, which
we have technical school. Technical school. Yeah. But most of our, I think I just wanted to add that most of the people that are plumbers and all of that, they are artisans. They didn't go to those technical schools. But
Thank you. So that's the big challenge we have there. So once they hear that Australia want trade, they want to, but the thing is that it has to be assessed. So that assessment is what puts them off, because it cannot be verified. Their qualification and experience is not verifiable. So that's a disadvantage. All right. So now, when you go to visa 189, which is a permanent resident, but the state, the government, the federal government will pick you up. So people that are in occupation in demand category, like teachers, nurses, engineers, ITs, and some trades, which I have mentioned previously, if you know you have had up to 5 years experience, that's where you should be going, because it's the survivor of the fittest. That's where the bosses, they fight. Okay, so if you have like 65 points, now let's talk about the points base. These 3 visas are points based. You must have at least 65 points, and your points, you can calculate this online. If you go to Google now and type in calculate Australia immigration points, it will give you a link. Okay, so you just input, they will ask you question. There is age, there is education, there is your occupation, and there is English proficiency. Okay, so if you're coming to Australia and you don't want to write, if Australia is your dream country and you swore that you can never write IELTS, PTE, OET, and other English, you can't come. There is no magic. There is no miracle that will happen that you will come. Okay, so but if you're talking about lower grade of English, like having 5.5, it is possible. Then you can go through visa 482, which is employer-sponsored visa. Okay, then you don't go for the skilled one. All right. So these are the 3 visas you can come to with no job attached. You don't need to find a job. Now let's move to
Jane, your time is up for now. Time is up for now. But I'm going to give you 2 minutes to answer this question. Number one, again, because I cannot suck out everything out of you, how can people reach out to you? I know you've helped loads of people move to Australia. How can people reach out to you? How can they find you? And then number 2, there's a question about proof of funds. What's the proof of funds? We've heard Canada talk about theirs. What's the proof of funds for Australia?
Okay, so proof of funds for Australia is that you need to pay your first semester school fees before you apply for visa. So once the school give you admission, you'll be paying that money. The calculation roughly should be about 65 million naira. Okay.
That is for study. That's for study, right?
Yeah.
But what about this 489, 491?
Oh, no, we don't need proof of fund for that. There is no proof of fund. No, that's where people get it wrong. So because Canada requests a proof of fund for
express entry.
Express entry. Australia does not. So they can ask you in your written whatever to explain how much you have, but no one needs a proof. Okay, how do you want to survive? For example, some visas that are not employer sponsored, there is no proof of fund for Australia work visa or skill migration. No.
Okay, how can people reach out to you for more information?
Okay, they can chat me up on Instagram here. Jane Kenix is here, or they can send me email janekenixbrand@gmail.com, or they can chat me on Facebook, Migration Code by Jane Kenix, or on YouTube as well. They can comment on my listing, but can send me email on janekenixbrand@gmail.com.
Okay, so let me just type that out. If you're interested in Canada, you want to talk
Australia.
No, I'm typing both. Don't worry.
Okay.
If you want to talk to Canada, you can reach out to @InfoPlaceCanada on Instagram. If you're interested in Australia, let me just type that out. If you're interested in Australia, you can send a DM to Jane Kenix, JANEKENI. Kennix. Okay. If you're interested in Australia, You can find her on Instagram as well, JANEKANNIX, Jane Kenix. Okay, thank you very much, Jane. I'm going to come back to you. I still have one more question for one more round for each of you before you go. But before that, I'm going to come to Mazi TT. Talk to us about routes across Europe that you think people should know. You have 6 minutes, and of course, depending on the questions that come, I'll give you another 3 minutes. So over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. So within Europe, I would say it has to be study because over time it's been proven that study has done very well within Europe. But you must be very careful to understand the policies. Now, Germany to study is free. Finland 5 years ago was free. With Sweden, it was free. Norway, it was free. But they woke up one day and they said, we now want to charge people money to come. The only place that is free right now within the Nordic is Iceland, but you need IELTS. Reykjavik is the capital. Germany is free, but you need a blocked account or you need a sponsor. Unfortunately, if you don't have a first class, you're from Nigeria, you might be looking at 22 months before you get an appointment. Czech Republic, that is close to Germany, tuitions are very low, 3.5 and below, even up to 1,002. Again, Czech operate one embassy in Nigeria. Appointment is 10 students per month. And students come from Cameroon, they come from all part of Africa. So you're looking anywhere between 20 months again. But then understand where you are going, build a flow chart. If your endpoint is Canada, go to France. Learn French, study in France, you get to Canada. If your endpoint is United States of America, go to Spain, go to Portugal. Learn Spanish, study in Spain, get your master's degree, shoot EB2 or EB1 from there. As you're studying, tie your studies, your research, your thesis, tie them to problem solving, sustainability, remote sensing, agriculture, supply chain, logistics, artificial intelligence, statistics, mathematics, healthcare development. There are so many topics you can talk about, how you can solve problems globally and address America's problem as well. So that is EB2 NIW or EB1. You can come to America on your green card straight up. So these are what you should be looking at. Now, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, these countries are also amazing as well. You're not going to end the world, but their tuitions are not through the roof. If you're into medical field, you want to do medical courses. Bulgaria has some of the best medical schools in Europe. Plovdiv has some of the best medical schools. Ukraine used to be good, but we know what's going on around there right now. So Ukraine is out of the blue. So you need to focus on Bulgaria. Another good guys again is Lithuania. Lithuania has some of the best medical schools right now because American companies, British companies, Canadian companies have pharmaceutical industries in Lithuania because of the job market and also the salary. So you're looking at Kaunas, Klaipėda, you're looking at Vilnius for you to go do. Nursing degrees are like 3,005. You can get either a remote job or a physical job. You can easily travel to Poland to buy your groceries because they use Wati and it's cheaper. If you have few money, and good thing now Lithuania has moved to Ghana, so you can run your application from Ghana as well. So if you also have a bit of money, two countries that a lot of people do not actually look at is Slovakia and Slovenia. Ljubljana and Bratislava. Slovakia, you don't need to pay any money upfront for tuition, 1,002, 1,005, and then Slovenia is Ljubljana, one of the best UNESCO heritage, beautiful place as well, 2,005 within that range, but you need to either go to Kenya or thereabout for their visa. But my best, the country that is after my heart, that has helped so many of my students thrive over the years, remains Portugal. Portugal is the country that I love. Yes, I lived in Poland, but Poland in 2022 were embroiled in a visa issues. European Union sanctioned them. That is why it's become incredibly hard to get Poland appointment. So, but Portugal remains a beautiful country. It is everything that you're looking for. You're not going to end the world, but build a skill that is exportable, an exportable skill. I don't mean graphic designing. I mean an exportable skill. Build it. It's going to survive you. They are going to host the World Cup in 2030. 2030, and a lot of construction is going on. Spain is their neighbor. You see what Spain did last year, regularizing over 500,000 people that have been in Spain since December. No matter how you come to Spain, come, we'll regularize you. Over 500,000. That is what Spain can do. Italy, on the other side, is the motherland. You know what Italy has done for our people? Rescue them from the Mediterranean, give them home, skill them up, and also pay them and support them. So Italy is amazing. You need to start on time. Italy tuitions are 250, 200, even for free, self. But you need to start on time. The apostle process takes a long time to get appointment to legalize. Over the years, the likes of Wakawaka Doctor and myself, we've been able to put these countries on blast. And right now, they are getting astronomical number of applications. When I went to Poland back in the day, you call on the phone, you get an appointment, but now it's hard. So don't think it's going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. Another hunting ground again for you should be Austria. Austria for bachelor's degree, but you need to write IELTS. Tuition is around 750, 450. Understand this. They are your transit destination. The reason why you're going there is to build your plan to where you are going next. Your postcode is no longer 234. Your calling number, NEPA, is no longer taking light. You're going to be there. You're going to be studying. You're going to be planning where you're going to next. If you're going to go from there and do global talent visa to United Kingdom, great. If you're going to go from there and hit Australia job market, great. If you're going to go from there and hit Canada PR, great. If you're going to go from there and hit America EB2, or come back to do a master's in America, because 50,000, 50 million naira. America is literally like, if you have a few money, you come, because you don't pay tuition from anywhere you're coming from. You just get your service, get your I-20, and you come. So understand that it's your transitional phase. I'll repeat, Austria is on my top list. Hungary is great. Romania takes a lot of time now because they're getting popular. Bulgaria is good for medicine. Lithuania is good for nursing, biomedical sciences, biotech and all that. Then Portugal is the country after my heart. Spain is also my beautiful country. I love them. Italy is there. France is well positioned if you're going to Canada. Avoid Luxembourg. 600,000 population. They're not going to give you admission. Amazing country, but it is the restriction is high. Then another beautiful place is Switzerland. Switzerland, we know, is not part of the European Union, but it's part of European Economic Area and part of the Schengen zone. Landlocked, it borders Germany, borders France, it borders a lot of countries. Tuition is around 800 Swiss franc. But as an
If I
international
allow
student,
Mazititi to keep talking, he no go stop. He
well,
no
as
go
an
stop.
international student, you're not going to work for 6 months. That is where that exportable skill come in. Bros, I be baba, if they cut your hair. A community of black people up to 20, you have 20 customers. 10 euro by 20 every weekend. You know how much that is. Repeat it in a month. That is how you survive. For the meantime, you are building from scratch. People
All right,
walk through this
Mazititi, I'm going to
process.
have to cut
Thank
you.
you
I'm going
very
to
much.
cut you off there because I've
Thank
got
you.
2 questions. I've got 2 questions for you. If I keep asking, letting Mazititi talk, it will talk for days. But I've got 2 questions for you here. Number one is, of course, how can people reach you on social media? How can they get across to you to ask you questions? And then number 2, there's one here that says, if I have 5 to 10 million naira, which of these countries would you suggest?
5 to 10 million naira. Wait from now till October. Campus France opens up. You upload all your documents on Campus France. Apply to 7 universities. Wait for e-candidate to load up. Pursue more universities. Laon, Marseille, Nantes, Bordeaux, Rennes, Montpellier. Look for these places. They are outside Paris. Their tuition for public schools, 250 euro and below. Government in France help international students pay their rent. Health insurance is also covered. Then look at Spain as well. Do legalization and authentication with less than 200,000 in Abuja. That opens you up to Portugal. Portugal is 1,150. You pay 10 times. Spain is 1,200. You have Seville, Barcelona. So legalize your document. That is where opportunities come. But you must have a BSc. BSc gives you advantage. So Spain, Portugal, France is your go-to home.
Is your goal. Okay. How can people reach out to you, Mazititi? How can they find you?
We are everywhere. Mazititi305. We are just on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, www.mazititi.com. We're there.
So you can find him on Instagram, MaziTT305. MaziTT305 on Instagram. If you want to reach out to him, you want to send him a DM, you want him to help you, just send a message on Instagram, MaziTT, MAZITT305. Okay. That's where you can find him. Let's talk to our friend in Russia. Talk to us, bro. This is you. You have the floor now to talk to us. What have people
Finally.
what do people have to look forward to if they are looking to move to Russia? Are there available routes outside the study pathway to come to Russia?
Okay, so thank you so much for the opportunity again, sir. So basically, yeah, firstly, I would like to say that if you are coming to Russia, of course, people that are looking at Russia are those people that they are looking for a very affordable route. So, and I can say that Russia is literally the most
How
affordable
how
route right
how,
now.
how affordable? How affordable?
Okay, so should I state the amount or
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
okay? So literally, Russia actually charges based on age. So if you're actually very young, you should be looking from somewhere around 5 million, even 3 million to 7 million naira. But if you are literally very old, then like at least 30, 40, all of those, then you should be looking around 7 to 10 million naira.
Okay, go
Yes.
ahead. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Go ahead.
that's with flights, that's with living, living costs, the tuition fees and all of that. That's with it. Yeah, everything all in one, even with the visa. Yes, sir. So can I continue now?
Yes, please.
All right, all right. So firstly, the I want to say something. I know that many of you are already looking at me like this, like, bro, me, I want Jackpot like this, and literally, it's just dependent package I want to use to run, bro. Russia does not offer dependent packages anymore, even because of the fact that we had or Russia had a lot of issues in the past where people will go to the village, pick up a girl, a random girl, go to the embassy, say this girl is she's my loved one, my beloved wife, or whatever it is, and they noticed a lot of scams from that. So dependent packages in Russia is literally not there. But the thing is that it does not mean that you guys cannot still apply as whatever it is, but you have to come individually. So you come, your wife come, then when you get here, you can now like connect yourself together with the law, the immigration laws here in Russia. So you go to the immigration to sign document. This is my wife. Then you guys will be able to enjoy the opportunities that Russia is going to give to you guys based on the fact that you guys are married and stuff like that. So another thing is that I see a lot of people getting scammed online based on work visas. They will come to me, they'll be like, oh, Femike, somebody just told me there's a work something opportunity here. Literally, yeah, you can get a work opportunity, like a work, an employer or employee, I don't know, that is ready to take you. So, but when this person is taking you, there will be a lot of contracts and a lot of paperwork. And trust me, it's very rare because of the fact that, let us not lie, there is something here that I want everybody to pay attention to. In Russia, we speak Russian. So that language thing is still a thing. So before you can facilitate that connection between you and the employer that is willing to take you, it might be a problem for you, right? So it will take a lot of time, a lot of grammars, a lot of problems. In fact, you can be. Do you know that, guys? I am translating something in Russian to English, and it is literally something else. Like what is being translated is another thing. All right. So that might actually stop the whole process. So another thing is tourist visa. So you guys can come in through tourism and all of that. But if you have it in mind that they give 90 days, that after the 90 days you want to run away and go and do other things, my bro, you cannot run in Russia because they know your address, they know where you are. So it's literally not advisable. I used to tell people that if you want to come to Russia and you think maybe you can finish your tourism, then you can transit to maybe study or whatever it is. It's not like that. You can actually come, go to the universities, make inquiries, but you will go back and they will have to re-invite you back to Russia. So because Russia is affordable, because we know how things are, does not mean that they are just loose. So, but the main way you can come to Russia is through the study route. I think that's like the best route. So about 6 years ago, when we came to Russia, I came through the language program, because if you're coming for the study route, there are two options. You can either go through the language route or you can come through direct study. So when I came to Russia about 6 years ago, I came through the language route, sorry guys, language program. And that language program happened to be the best program of my life because number one, it helped me to easily come into Russia. Number two, it actually gave me the pathway to my residency. Because, guys, let us not lie. Every of these people that are here gathered, they are my ogas and my bosses. They are in English-speaking countries. And the fact that they are already speaking English already make them thrive in one way or the other. So if you're going to be coming to this part of the world, guys, as you're looking at me, I didn't even really know Russian. Like almost like 4 years, I didn't understand Russian, but I was still doing one or two things. But I was literally not able to even make what I wanted to make for myself because I didn't really understand. Not like I was not making money from my jobs and all of that, but I wanted to be more get more opportunities for myself. So that's why I used to tell people that when you come here, for example, my younger brother came to Russia and in 3 months he was already speaking like the basics of Russia. I'm not saying he was a professional or he was fluent, but he was already speaking the basics of Russia. So I used to tell people that come through the language program. When you come through the language program, courses are very cheap here to get it. The transition from your language program to studying directly is also very, very easy. So, and you can get it from somewhere around $1,500 to $3,500, depending on the city. Of course, I don't advise Moscow because Moscow is like the major, the most expensive, and St. Petersburg. So if you are looking for cheaper options, you can for example, my city is Yekaterinburg. There's Yekaterinburg, there's Cheboksary, there's Kazan, there's Ryazan, there's Tyumen, there's Chelyabinsk, there's Samara, there's a lot of these places. And Russia is the largest, so you will always see opportunities.
Mr. St. Petersburg.
So you will always get opportunities, my people. So it is literally a country that actually gives you this opportunity. So if you're coming to Russia, I would advise you to go through the language program.
Language program,
yeah.
Or the study route. Now, there's somebody here saying that they got a scholarship to St. Petersburg Electrotechnical University, but the scholarship is only covering tuition and the preparatory course. What would you advise?
To be honest with you, I would say, like, firstly, if it is covering only the preparatory course and the tuition and the tuition, so it means housing is not there, and of course the tuition, the housing here, like the student hostel here, is very, very cheap. It's affordable, and of course you can work and then you can cover other things. But I would say to this person that if it is covering tuition, it's already covering a big part of whatever you are doing. But I don't know if it is just covering tuition for only preparatory department or it's going to cover for the other, maybe masters or whatever it is. So if it is covering tuition fully, I support it.
All right, thank you very much. We have one last round for everybody, but I have 2 more speakers here. So I'm going to come to Yeti. Yeti, talk to us. What are the routes to move to the UK at the moment? 6 minutes.
First, I'd like to say that if you're looking for where will not stress you and where your money speaks, you have the money at hand, this is the process you want to do, bam, 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 UK is the place for you. If you're looking for where you want to decide that, in 3 months, in May, I want to be in the UK, there are opportunities like that. By October, I want to be in the UK. And that's one of the privileges that the UK has that some other countries, they don't possess. So I'm going to split the route in which you can come into the UK 4 different paths. The student route, the work route, the route that doesn't require sponsorship, and then some kind of categories of visa that we call seasonal visa. I'm going to explain all of that. So the student route, UK student route is still one of the easiest to get in the world. I think the visa success rate is about 96% as long as you have everything. So it's very easy to come into the UK. You can also move with your dependents on a study route. However, the laws has changed. You have to be doing a Masters of Research program or a PhD to be able to come in with your family members. So if you want to come into the UK, you're married, you've got kids, you can still explore the study route. The study route is very, very easy, but it is not cheap. Gone are those days that when I came into the UK, tuition wasn't cheap. But the rates, dollar to naira rate was naira to pounds rates at that time was still very affordable. So I think it was around 500, not 2,000 that it is now. And deposit was like school, we're still collecting deposit like 3,000. You could still pay multiple times. Now it's not the case. Average tuition, average deposit now. Some schools will still take 3,000, but then they'll probably ask you to pay on enrollment. So if a school is asking you to pay on enrollment, it's as good as them saying pay everything before coming, because if you don't have the money, you just don't have the money. If you don't have the money now, it might be difficult for you to get it when you land into the UK. So the study route is there, but it's no longer as cheap as it used to be. And I was privileged to be among those people who came and then worked while they were in the UK to pay their tuition balance. But it might be very, very difficult to do that now. When I came, all I had was my tuition. I got a job and I was able to use that job to pay back almost, how much was my tuition balance then? Almost 8,000 or 10,000 pounds back. But now, I would like to say that, oh, it's very easy for you to do that now. Because number one, to even get job, I got job almost in 2 or 3 weeks of arrival in the UK. But now people are spending 2 months, 3 months. So if you're depending on then working here to pay your tuition balance, it might not be difficult. So only explore the study route if you have the financial capability. It's very easy. The processing is straightforward. You have your document, your admission, conditional offer, unconditional offer, pay your deposit, do your TB test, start your POF, 30 days. You don't need 6 months like Canada and every other place, just 30 days, apply for your visa. And as long as everything is straightforward, no issues, bam, you've gotten it. That is, the study route. Then we have the skilled worker visa. So the skilled work, and I also need to put this out there. If you're unskilled, the UK might not be the place for you to look at. So I've had people DM like, oh, I'm a laborer, I'm this and that. There are other countries that you might want to explore. The UK really values skilled workers. So that's why they have a category of visa called the skilled worker visa. The skilled worker visa allows you to come to the UK if you're highly skilled. We have something that used to be called the shortage occupation list, but it is now referred to as the immigration salary list. So this list has occupations that are shortage in the UK, that if your own skill set fall under that category, you're able to apply for job. Again, when I came into the UK, it was really easy to come on the skilled worker visa. I have lots of friends I came through the study route, but I had lots of friends who came into the UK on the skilled worker visa. But now it might be difficult. But if you have the skill set, you can still have it. If you're really, really very skilled, you can still explore the skilled worker visa. Now, even though I mentioned that the UK values skilled workers, there's still a category of visa that is not, it's skilled anyway, but it's just a little lesser visa, and it's called the health and care worker visa. So the health and care worker visa allows care workers you to come into the UK to work as a carer. But initially, so the skilled worker visa, you can't relocate with your dependent. That's why the UK is family oriented. Almost all their visa category allows you to come in with your family members, not just yourself. But the health and care worker visa, initially, you were able to relocate with your dependents, and dependents are your family members, your immediate family members. It does not cover your mom, your grandfather, no, just your spouse and your kids. So the healthcare worker visa allows you to come into the UK, but you can no longer come in with dependents. Like I said initially, before the law change, you were able to relocate to the UK as a carer with your dependents, but now you can no longer come into the UK on the health and care worker visa with your dependents. So they still recruit internationally. I've seen a lot of people ask that question. Yes, they still recruit internationally, but you just can't come with your dependents unless you're probably I think unless your SOC code is I think 61. I'm not going to code the SOC code because I'm not sure, but they do refer to them as nursing assistants. So if you're coming on as a nursing assistant, yes, you can still bring your dependent, but if you're coming as a carer or senior carer, you can no longer bring your dependent. So that's for the skilled worker visa. Now, you require sponsorship to get the skilled worker visa and the healthcare visa. That means there has to be a company. You have to apply for jobs in the UK, and then the company has to take you in for you to come in as a skilled worker visa or the health and care visa. And the skilled worker visa has a salary threshold. So I think it's about £41,700. So the job that they are offering you must be willing to pay you for £21,700. When I came in, it was way lesser than that. Then they increased it to 38,000, but now they've subsequently taken it higher to £41,700. And it's not that easy, to be honest, to see an employer willing to sponsor you and pay you £41,700. That is not to say people don't earn that well. People earn as high as 50, 60, but it might be jobs without sponsorship. But when it comes to sponsorship job, it might be hard for you to get such job. And if you're on
your time is up, Yeti. Your time is up, Yeti.
So quick. Okay, guys, there's also the global talent visa as well. You do not require sponsorship for that, but yeah, let me just stop at that.
All right, fantastic. 2 questions for you, Yeti, for 2 minutes. Number one, of course, how can we reach out to you? And let me see if there's another question. There was one other question someone asked you. Yeah, how can people reach out to you? And can you talk about the seasonal workers that you mentioned? So 2 minutes.
Yes. So if you want to reach out to me, it's just at Yeti Splash on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere at Yeti Splash. I'm always there, very active. And the seasonal worker visa, why I left it last is there are visas that does not really translate or leads to settlement. There are temporary work visas that allow you to come into the UK. So there are two major ones. We have one that is actually called seasonal worker visa. You come in seasonal to either pick fruit. So those are like I know the UK focuses more on skilled workers, but if you are unskilled, those are kind of visa that you can go for. You just come in to pick fruits during that season. It's usually for 3 to 6 months, and then you go back. You might not be able to, extend it or switch into another category of visa if you're in the UK. Then we also have the charity work visa. The charity work visa allows you to come into the UK to do volunteer work. Again, these are not really visas that you might, want to explore if relocation is the end goal for you. But they're just visa that still allows you to come in, have that UK stamp, and then probably go back.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Yeti. Of course, one more round before I let you go. Final, I'm going to come to Dr. Adi. You've got 6
Why
minutes.
did you put me last now?
First,
you put me first. Now you put me last.
For the best.
What did I do you now?
For the best.
Well, thank you very much. So I want to say this, right? So I deal with different immigration pathways, and the US is one of them. I'm a fan of the US. I'm a US citizen. I also have citizenship of 3 other countries. So I'm happy to always talk about the US, but I still want to emphasize again that the US is not the only country in the world that you can explore. Now, let's talk about various immigration pathways that you may consider if you're thinking about the US. I'm going to group this into permanent residency, green card, temporary residency, and transitioning. So I came to the US on this pathway. How do I become permanent residency? Now, how do I become a permanent resident? Now, let's start with some of the opportunities that if you're outside the US, you're trying to get permanent residency and move to the US as a permanent resident. There are a bunch of pathways that are not talked about enough. So Africans usually think the US doesn't have those opportunities. The first one is the EB1 pathway. So under the EB1 pathway, we have 3 categories. The most popular one is the EB1A pathway. This EB1A pathway, you don't need proof of funds. You don't need English proficiency. You don't need an employer to file for you, but you have to be in the top 1% of your field. And usually the US appreciates those people who are maybe in sciences, you may be in arts, or something that at least they know if you come to the country, you can be self-sufficient. That is EB1A. You don't need an employer. You don't need to have money. You don't need to speak English. You don't need to write English proficiency. You just need to be able to provide proof. Now, what are some of the proofs that they want? So they have 10 criteria. Out of the 10 criteria, you need to meet 3 of those criteria. Oh, I've been featured in the media. Oh, I have won national or international awards. Oh, I have a publication. Oh, I have been a judge of other people's work. Things like that. So usually we look, do you have, out of the 10, do you have 3? Can we also show that you're someone who is, we call them, you have sustained national or international acclaim. You are known in your field. That is EB1A. We have EB1B, which is for people in the academia. I'm a professor, I'm a lecturer, and anything related to that. But that particular one, EB1B, is not just for, EB1A is not just for STEM people. You can be an artist, you can be an actor, you can be anything. So EB1A is not restricted to STEM. It's every field. Every field, you just have to be top of the line in your field, at least meet 3 of those 10 criteria. And the second one, the EB1B, professors, people in academia, pretty much. It doesn't matter whether you're in sciences or arts, just be in academia. Now, for EB1B, you usually will need a university who has given you a job offer. We also have EB1C. If you're an executive in various organizations, like a multinational organization, that is the one for you. It also requires a job offer. Now, on the EB1 category, I would usually recommend EB1A because that's the one that doesn't have proof of funds, doesn't require any employer, is straight shot if you're top of the line in your field. Now we have EB2. Under EB2, I talk about the EB2 NIW. That means NIW means National Interest Waiver. You have to, it's permanent residency. You can apply for it from anywhere in the world, but you have to be doing work that the US consider as it's of national interest to us. So today in the US, Donald Trump said, drill, baby, drill, right? So it's really focused on oil and gas. It's also really focused on artificial intelligence. It's right now we have defense and security as a big deal because of the various war happening. So whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that we can pretty much show that this is of national interest to the US. Now, that visa grants you a permanent resident. We either group you as you have exceptional ability, which is you have a bachelor's and 5 years experience, or you have advanced degree, you have a master's degree, but we need to be able to show some of the things that we would use to say you are ready to do the work. You are qualified to do the work. Now, this also doesn't require any employer. You don't need proof of funds. You don't need English proficiency and any of those things that most of the other countries require. Now, in this case, now there are two levels, whether it's EB1A or EB2 NIW, you first will submit what we call I-140. I know a Nigerian could say, but there is a ban right now. Can I still apply for that? I understand that there is a ban, but because it's a two-step process, the first step, which is get your I-140 approved, get your approval, you can still apply for that today from anywhere. That one has no ban. Now, once you get that approved, now we are waiting for the ban to be lifted. So whenever they lift the ban, you can now do the second phase, which is you are going to go for a consular processing, whatever country you are. They'll send your application back home that you've been approved. Now they want to see the documents. They want to interview you for that second phase. Is it going to be difficult like the US is that they're just giving it? It's difficult to reject you. You already got approved. So that is still a possibility today. Are there other green cards that are still available? Yes. I have a spouse who is a U.S. citizen. There's a pathway for you. I'm a son or daughter of a U.S. citizen. I'm less than 21. There's a pathway for you. I'm a spouse of a U.S. citizen. So we have that family category that also you can explore for permanent residency. Now, let's talk about temporary residency. Now, the one that is common that everybody knows is B1, B2. I would go as a visitor, and that's the one that has highest level of rejection if you don't have proof that you will go back to your home country or you have money or something like that. Let me reject you. Now, let's talk about other pathways possible. I want to talk about one, which is the O1A and O1B visa. This is for I'm an artist, I'm an actor, I'm a scientist, anybody that is considered that you have extraordinary ability. You remember the EB1A. So let's say we looked at your credentials and it's not really that strong for EB1A. We will move you to O1A. It's exactly the same requirement, but the scrutiny level is reduced. So if we look and say you were published in the news, but you were published on a lower media, I wouldn't want to present you for EB1A because you will meet high scrutiny. So we would say maybe we should present you for O1A. O1A gives you, O1A or O1B gives you 3 years work permit to come and work and live and do anything you want in the US. No English proficiency. You may need an agent, and in some cases, we file this for founders. So you have registered your company in the US, you're probably gotten some money from some founders or something, or you have proof that you're selling, but your company is registered in the US, but you're not here. So that company can be used as the one that is filing for you. That's a very good visa for founders. Any other person can also do this, right? So it's very similar to EB1A, but if what you have is a little lower, we go for this 3-year visa. When you now get to the US, you've been living there, and then you improve your evidence, we can now apply for the permanent residency. We have L1A and L1B.
Dr. Adi, 30 seconds.
Sorry, I still have a L1A and L1B. I work for a company in Africa, and they want to transfer me. I have seen this happen to a lot of Africans. I have a couple of friends that P&G, Motorola, and all of that, they transfer from Nigeria to come and work in the US under this visa category. It's a work permit, but a company has to file it for you. E2 visa, I still have a Canadian, got this last week. So I'm looking to come and work in the US. Maybe I can buy a company, or my company is already registered in the US is doing something. I need proof to show that I'm coming to work in my company. You can get a work permit for that. F1, I'm a student. I come here as a student and my family can come with me. My wife will get an F2 and my children, but they cannot work. That's another one, a J1 visa. So I'm a professor.
Dr. Adi, we have to hold you. We have to hold you there. We have to hold you there because of time. But I've got 2 minutes more for you. One is to tell people how they can reach out to you, and number two, somebody is asking you here saying, for the USA, I am in music media productions here in Nigeria with over 10 years of experience, but I do not have any formal certificate for it yet. What route would you advise me to take?
EB1A. I've worked with a couple of Nigerian artists, actor that are acting movie, and people in PR to get this EB1A because they usually have media features. They have some things that we can look at. So EB1A, you probably will be better positioned for EB1A than EB2NIW if you are in that artist related space. Now, how can people reach me? Dr. Olubamiji, which is my last name. You can use that to find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Dr. Addy Olubamiji on LinkedIn. On Twitter, I just recovered my Twitter account after 2 years, so I've not really been active. I'm hoping I'll start talking from next week. So they also Dr. Olubamiji, Dr. Olubamiji on Twitter. Pretty much, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Did I use the rest of my time to talk about the other?
Your time has finished. You will
Actually,
have
it's 2 minutes now. Let me quickly.
now. Your time has finished.
Let me
now.
quickly tell them a few things.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so I did talk about a couple of other categories, but that's fine. This what I want to share is if you're already in the US, right, and you're thinking, can I transition? Or maybe you want to come as a student. You can come as a student, after you finish, get an OPT and transfer over. I didn't talk about H1B, which is I get a work visa to come and work in the US. Right now, H1B is having K-leg. Right now, H1B is open. But there is $100,000 that an employer must show that they are going to pay. So as a result, it's really having K-leg, right? But if you're a Canadian, for example, you can get a TN visa, which doesn't have any K-leg. But I'm explaining this to let you know I can come in through one pathway and then convert to permanent residency. That's also fair in the long run. Okay, that's it.
Dr. Adi, thank you very, very much. I'm coming to the last round for everybody now, but let me just share with everybody who's just watching. You're on to Wakawaka Doctor, and we've been here for the last 2 hours. It's been a very interesting conversation with all these gurus. I do not take it for granted being given the opportunity to, Florence, for instance, I know she needs to be somewhere, but she's here with us. I'm very, very grateful. Dr. Adi is very busy. Mazi Titi is very busy. Jane is in tomorrow. She's supposed to be at work now. She's in the future. She's supposed to be sleeping. She's been here with us. Yeti has just given birth, and she's still with us. You know, Femi, you're in the cold. You're even wearing, warmer inside house, but you are still with us. And I thank all of you guys. What I want to do now, my job here is very simple. We've got almost 3,000 people watching us live, and we have many more who are going to watch us when I post this on, on every platform. But my job here is simple. My job is to create an avenue for people to access information. My job is to make people know that there are different opportunities out there, and you don't even need to pay all these roadside agents who will take your money, not do the work, and scam you. There are genuine and legit people who have a track record, people who have the experience, they've done it themselves, and have helped thousands of people. And that's why I've brought each and every one here. So for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to sell yourself. Okay, it's not a business advertisement, but it's to sell yourself, because I want to be proud to say that in a year or two down the line, I saw Mazi Titi on Wakawaka Doctor's Japa Wars, and that was how I contacted him. And now I am in Lithuania, or I'm in Spain, or I'm in Portugal. I met Florence of InfoPlace Canada, and she helped me get my permanent residency. Or I saw Dr. Adi, and she was talking so much about career through this, and that's what gives me so much joy. So don't be shy to tell people how to reach out to you, how to get across to you, because we need to help more people. I'm not anti-Nigeria, okay? I'm not anti-Nigeria, but I am pro bettering the life of people. And at the moment, Nigeria is not doing it for a lot of people. So Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, across the world, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, across to Fiji, we need to create an ecosystem where people know that there is information that is available to them, different routes, 200 different routes, and to also let people know that you cannot be stuck on one country. I have always said this: you have 197 countries across the world. You cannot be stuck on one. You need to know that Australia is there, New Zealand is there, Canada is there, US is there, UK is there, Russia is there, Japan is there, there is Estonia, there is Lithuania, there is Portugal, there is Australia, there is Bulgaria, there is Slovenia. As long as the country you want to move to is better than where you are right now, you need to take that leap. Okay, so please feel free to share how they can access you, if it's phone number, if it is email, if it is Instagram, if it's LinkedIn, anything. But you've got 5 minutes to say whatever it is on your mind so that people will get the best from you. So who wants to go first?
I will go first because I have a workshop to coordinate.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Doc. It's with utmost humility that I say this. Thank you so much for putting this together, and I hope we can do this more. This is not 2010. This is not 2005. This is 2026. We've gone from image era to biometric era. So there's a whole lot of confusing information around there. The foundation needs to be laid right. Succeeding in this part of the world has to do with a lot of foundation. Foundational work is very important. When the foundation is right, you can stand anywhere you live. Do not leave Nigeria because, there is hardship. There is hardship everywhere. Do not wake up and say, I want to leave Nigeria because it is bad. There must be a reason why you want to leave Nigeria. Oh, I am a car dealer. I want to go where I can export my product. Oh, I am in IT, cybersecurity. I want to go where my skills will be valued. Oh, I am a nurse. I'm a doctor. I want to go where they will value me. Oh, I am a farmer. I want to go where I can learn about precision agriculture. Oh, you need to understand what you really want to do for yourself. Now, if you are younger, I do not mind you going back to school. I've had sections with 16, 18, 20, and I tell them, I am not going to throw you into the maze. I'm not going to throw you into the labyrinth. I'd rather you go back and get a better understanding of where you are coming to. If you are younger, if you have an art background, say you did your WAEC on art and you want to look at, what can I study to get a job by the time I finish? In today's world that we know is healthcare. We definitely know healthcare, agriculture, there is loads of opportunity. And as somebody with color, understand your color scheme first, that the healthcare opens that opportunity. If it means taking a year down, writing WAEC, then pursuing it. World Health Organization projected we need 4.5 million nurses. Becoming a nurse is not an easy thing. Getting into IT is not an easy thing. But understand who you are. Understand what is taking should definitely not be because of the gleams and the glamour of it.
Mazi, we've lost you. Mazi? Mazi, are you there? Am I the only one? We've lost him, right?
We lost him, yes.
We lost
him.
Yeah.
We lost him. Okay. I think it will reconnect. Anybody else who wants to go?
I can go.
Okay.
So I believe that I've heard today Australia, Canada, and the UK, everybody talking about some programs that need a job, that you need a job to get a visa sponsorship and all of that. So if you're looking for someone who understands, how do I get those jobs? How do I put myself in a position where I can get that visa sponsorship? How do I make sure that my resume is talking the language that is needed in any of those countries? First, we have built a platform called jobvoid.ai as someone who has helped over 10,000 people secure jobs in Australia, Canada, US, UK, anywhere. My company and I have decided to build that solution. So That solution helps you to revamp your resume to what that country wants to see in less than 1 minute. It also shows you what's my worth. How much should I be asking for today? If you have an interview, it also helps you with put the job description and put your resume. It tells you what are the questions that are likely to come out in that interview. And we have at least 65% success rate. Everything we put in there has been what we have been using over the last 10 years to help people. Now, as an immigrant and as a Black person, there's always an unconscious bias that kind of happened to us when we're trying to get a job. We put the work to make sure that this platform will sell you as a top 1%, regardless of your color, of your name, or whatever that person says. So if you're thinking, all of these different routes, I need visa sponsorship job, please go to jobvoid.ai, jobvoid.ai. You can get a free version for a couple of days to be able to test it out, to see what it can do for you. And I believe that can help you. Oh, I need more than just a platform that would help me. So it also revamps your LinkedIn. You want to negotiate your pay. It does a whole lot. So you can please go ahead, try it for free.
Jobvoid.ai.
JOBVOY.ai.
Oh, okay.
Jobvoid. Like voyage, void. Jobvoid.ai. Absolutely fantastic. I need more than a platform to help me. We have a team of career coaches, most of them with PhDs like myself, who are available, ready to support you on your, whether I'm looking for a job or a visa sponsorship job, remote job, anything like that. Come and work with us. When it comes to U.S. immigration, we do different countries, not just U.S. I'm looking for a pathway. This is how much I have. We're happy to see what is the place that will work the most for you. We're not going to force fit you into one country. We're going to look at what you have. Where do they need you? You have this skill, maybe Australia will work better for you. You have this skill, maybe it's Canada that needs you. Or you have this amount of money, go and start from here. And feel free to reach out to me at Dr. Dr. Olubamiji anytime. Happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Olubamiji. Dr. Dr. Olubamiji, and you'll be able to find her. Mazi Titi, we lost you. Do you want to continue? Your mic.
Oh, okay. Since I apologize, I had a call. So in the long run, what I'm saying is, even if it means taking a year back to understand where you were going. I have studied America for 20 plus years. I know the 50 states and I haven't been to 50 of them. The policies, the economy. You need to study the country that is going to be your host nation for the next 1 year to understand where you are going. Policies swing like pendulum, but if you understand where you are going, it helps you build a thick skin to survive during the rainy days. Rome was not built a day, but Rome is still standing today. Understand that the skill set that you neglect in Nigeria is a gold mine in this part of the world. If you become a truck engineer, you become a mechanic, you become a horticulturist, you become a gardener, you become a farmer, you become a plumber, you become an electrician. All you need to do is when you come to this part of the world, you look if it is a trades industry where you need their qualification or their certification or license to operate. It becomes easy for you to get it. Like you've been driving for 24 years. Any country you go to get their licenses, maybe 1 or 2 tries, you've gotten the license. But if you've never driven at all in your life, it will become difficult for you to drive and get their license. So if you become a mechanic, a plumber, a bricklayer, a truck engineer, when you come out, what they will do is ask you, can you do this job? You say, yes, I can do this job. You do the job, you will do the exams, and you're qualified. And then your life begin to take shape. Do not japa. It's either you japa good or you don't japa at all. Doc said a lot of things here. She mentioned so many pathways. You've heard from Canada, you've heard from Australia, you've heard from the US, you heard from the United Kingdom. There are multiple pathways. I heard a video that was trending speaking today, Dr. Freeze was saying people come to America, husband will marry another wife, wife will marry another husband for the sake of paper. Those are nonsensical practices that took place in 2000. This is 2026. A country is telling you that they recognize your skill and there are categories for your skill set. So you need to understand where you are leaning towards. If you're in information technology, that is good. You are a geologist, geographic information system, remote sensing, drone technology is blowing up. So you need to understand where you're coming from. Chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, do not play low simply because you are desperate. Take a few years backward, understand the system, pipe into the system. Policies always change. This is not the first time this country is banning Nigeria, and it's not going to be the last time. So take advantage, rebuild now. If it means you transiting to another country, you can go to France, you can go to Spain, get the degree, get the experience, and then tackle your final destination. It could be Italy, it could be Australia, it could be the US, it could be anywhere that you want to go. There is nobody rubber stamping that America is the best country in the world. Find your Poland. Find your Poland. Your Poland can be even Nigeria becomes your Poland if you understand what you want to do for yourself as an individual. Thank you so much, Doc. And I'll see you guys
Fantastic.
on the next one.
And people can reach you. Let them hear how they can reach you, please.
So you can always reach me. My email is consult@mazittt.com. My website is www.mazittt.com. My Instagram is mazitt305. is on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. Our work speaks for itself. We have students in 29 Schengen countries, including Iceland. We have students everywhere. Students that have listened to us over the last 4 years, they have made use of the information that we provide. So it's very much important that you make informed decision, not a desperate decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazititi. I'm very, very grateful. Of course, we'll speak after this. Thank you so much. Who's going to go next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Perfect.
All right.
No, Wakawaka Doctor, thank you so much for this opportunity today. It's been very enlightening and, of course, even a learning experience as well, just learning from everyone about the other various countries and programs that are out there. And I think just like everyone has heard today, there are various countries to immigrate to. There is no one right, perfect, best country. It all depends in the end about your own convictions, what you're looking for in the long run. And one thing that I want to stress is that there is no country that you're going to go to that it will be a walk in the park. So meaning when you go to any country you choose, any of these countries that are listed here, there is going to be work that will need to be put in for you to be successful. There will be work that needs to go in for you to achieve your goals. And when as he said, study the country you want to go to and look at that properly and understand what is required. But one of the first things would be, do not make a rush. Do not rush to a country because that's what everyone is talking about. Do not choose a country because that's the videos you're seeing online. Do not also write off a country because of what you're reading online. I'd like to state that a lot of people who are successful in various countries around the world, many of them are not really online making videos and talking about themselves and what is successful to them. I usually tell people, if you see a sibling in a country trying to get their sibling to come, a parent in a country trying to get their family members, their loved ones to be a part of that country, those are the people you should be listening to, because I wouldn't ask my siblings to come to a place where I'm suffering, where I'm not doing well, where things are not working well for me. So be able to weed out the noise, listen to what's out there, be able to make that decision for yourself with informed decision. So when it comes to relocating, a lot of times people look at it and the cost associated with it a lot of time as an expense. You cannot trivialize the cost of investing in professionals to guide you when you're about to make a life-changing decision. When you look into the cost of working with expertise to represent you on any level in any country to immigrate, to get the information you need to look at that as an investment towards achieving the long-term goal that you have to do. So you want to put that in place. Shortcuts don't work. A lot of times we have had people who have ended up mixing up and completely ruining the opportunities to ever relocate to any country because they were looking for shortcuts. They were relying on the fluff online. I believe everyone who is here is not going to tell you that anything is guaranteed for any country. So if you're working with people who are like guaranteed is 100%, that is probably your first sign that you shouldn't even be talking to that person, because nobody here and nobody you work with will make the final decisions. What people will do is continue to guide you and give you, based on experience, what is required to be successful. The final decision always remains with the country that you're trying to go to. So it's so important to have that at the back of your mind. And when it comes down to it, I'd like to put that final word in terms of Canada. Canada remains a great country to immigrate to. Like I've said, and people who know, I've lived here, it's going to be 22 years this year. It's been a country that has helped me thrive, not just individually, but as a family. I've also thrived in my professional career. I'm first a chartered accountant before I became a licensed immigration consultant, moving from working in the corporate world and succeeding, and then building my own business as well, InfoPlace Canada, where I'm not just not employing, but also adding to the Canadian economy. We have a team of consultants, a team of experts on our team that work with people from various countries who are looking to immigrate to Canada. So that's kind of what Canada can do for you. Like you don't have to be in just a sector for yourself. You don't have to come and just be an employee. You can come and we'll go from being an employee to an investor to business owners and things like that. There's a lot that you can do, and it's a country that needs skilled labor. When you're looking to immigrate, I see people asking certain things like, oh, how about specific things that relate to them. It comes to a point where you have to look beyond what you have and start asking yourself, what do these countries need? This is the country I want to go to. What are they looking for? Who are they prioritizing? Because it's not your country. So if you want to go there, they have people they want. So you need to be flexible enough and willing enough to learn and do the things that are required for those countries for you to get there. So to wrap up here, Canada is still great. There's lots of opportunities, but you need to be very strategic from the get-go. Seek guidance and know exactly what path you're taking, and look at your long-term goal from the beginning. Don't just pick a school. Don't just say, I'm going to visit, I won't come back. Don't just take a job. You want to know what pathway you're going for. When it comes to permanent residence, the same thing as well. You want to understand all of that. And if there's anything I would leave here is that Canada keeps records. So if you've ever applied to Canada before, all of your information before remains on the Canadian immigration system and can come back to hunt you if there was anything incorrect or wrong about that. So make sure that you are putting yourself properly from the get-go as you're putting your application together. So, of course, we're here, infoplacecanada.ca, at Infoplace Canada on all platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. And, of course, you can email my team as well, ask@infoplacecanada.ca. And we'll be more than happy to work with you. We have our phone lines as well. It's all online. If you're on Instagram, you can find that in our contact button as well. One of the things that you would get is we're a team of immigrants and we're committed to get it to work for you. We're not here to build you fluff. We're not here to tell you something is going to work when something is not going to work. If you don't qualify for anything, we're not even going to take you on in the first place. We have a very detailed intake process just to make sure we're taking on people that there is a chance that we can do something for them. They have a good chance to succeed. And when things get tough in that application process, you can be sure that we'll be very honest and very straight with you about that. So if you're really looking for a representation that you can rely on, that you can know that even when you're sleeping, that we on the back end are working our ass off just to make sure that you have a strong chance of getting that approval, then you definitely want to reach out to us. We do have processes, we do have ways we do things. As long as you're ready to follow and walk through that, we would be happy to work with you and see if Canada is the choice for you as well.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Jen, you want to go next? I know you're very sleepy. Yes. And you've tried to stay with us. Final words for people before you go.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wakawaka. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm happy to be here. The thing is that I don't really want to say much because Australia, people are naturally drawn to Australia currently. Because of so many reasons. They talk about wages and they talk about availability of job. People always say job is everywhere in Australia. I believe them. They talk about safety. They talk about life-work balance. They talk about peace of mind. Okay. But one thing I want to say is that there is no shortcut to Australia visa, you must be qualified. You must be qualified. So if you are looking for someone that will help you understand the visa you are qualified for, streamline the process of Australia visa for you, because we have so many routes. There are so many pathways to Australia visa. Whether you are coming from your home country or you want to transition from anywhere, UK, Holland, Poland, anywhere to Australia, we have services for you. Okay. And if you need consultation, if you want coaching, we provide our services. I will be quick because I want to see if I can grab some sleep before I go to work. So you can see me in all platforms. I'm on Instagram as Jen Kenix, on TikTok is Jen Kenix, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. And we have website jenkenix.com as well. You can drop email, contact, go to contact us section and drop a line there and we'll reach out to you. Okay, we are everything Australia. Dr. Wakawaka, I notice a lot of people also are saying, can the Australian lady talk about New Zealand?
New Zealand, yeah.
A lot of people.
I'm going to invite you specially to talk about New Zealand.
Okay. I hope we have that section. It's really overdue. Yeah. Now we are sisters, brothers and sisters. Okay. All right. And thank you to all my co-debaters. It's good to meet all of you, and I hope we'll have more opportunity to meet on one-on-one. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I will leave you
Thank you
now.
very much. I'm very grateful. You should grab some sleep. Thank you so much.
Doctor, can I go next?
Femi, yes, of course, you can go next. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just have a meeting very soon, so I have to just quickly.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right, sir. So, firstly, literally, I can't give like all the full information here because you know how everybody have different view about Russia. So I would like you guys to reach out for those of you that want to have like the full detail, like the breakdown of everything. I'll give you guys all the answers to your question. So you can reach out to us on Femike on here. That's on Instagram. Femike, that's FEMYKAYS ONAIR.
FEMI.
Yes, FEMIKAY, Femike. On here. Yes, ONAIR. Yes, okay. You can reach out, or you can reach out on YouTube. You can watch my videos. There are a lot of information there that will literally give you guys that exact, because I'm not very good at all these bands and all of that. So I've spoken my mind there. So everything is cool. So that's Femike. You can check me out there, Femike Vibe Lord or Femike on Instagram. So now, to the next part of what I want to say quickly. Thank you very much, Doctor. Like I said, you're my mentor. And this is a big platform for me. God bless you, sir. I hope one day we can meet in person. And for you guys that are here that are literally very interested in Russia. So the thing is that we have three types of students, right? We have the rich students, which is, if you are rich, you can consider the UK, the Australia. We have the mid-class students, which of course you can consider Canada, Germany, and those places, right? And we have the budget students. So the budget students can consider the Eastern Europe and Russia. So I don't know, it's now left to you to decide which kind of student you are and what your financial capability at the moment, you know, what you can take, how you can sponsor yourself or who is sponsoring you. All right. So the truth about Russia is that it is not saturated at the moment. You know, it's not like the Canadas, the Australias and all of that. Like the saturation is not really high. And that is a good thing, in fact, because it gives you and I the opportunity to come here and soar. All right. So we've had many issues about visas, you know, in other countries. Russia's visa is very, very accessible at the moment. Even I still picked up a client today, one of our clients, and he said it's as if they are giving a visa, they are dashing visa in the embassy. To be honest, like it was like everybody get the visa, like in the embassy, because Russia's visa is very, very easy to get. And they have three questions they ask, which of course, when you call us, we're going to tell you about it. Like, what's your purpose for coming to Russia, your ties to home, and then the third one, which is who is sponsoring you. So, and also guys, there's something I want to like quickly debunk, which is some of the myths. I feel like that's what everybody, because whenever somebody calls me and they're like, oh, Femike, how are you? The next thing they're asking is questions like the war in Russia, the language, is it a barrier? The language is not a barrier, guys. It is something that you can easily learn. I myself, I speak Russian. I've been here for 6 years and I speak Russian like fluently, guys. So it's not something that is difficult. And I used to tell people that if I can learn Russian, then of course you can learn Russian, because everybody have their own hearing capabilities. And also this tuition fee here, this is the good thing. guys, the tuition fee here can be paid in installments. So Russia gives you a contract, and when you get here, you can pay your school fees instrumentally. Like you can break it down into different parts and pay it according to the way you work. So when you are working, even when you are working, you can have a contract with your employer or your company, so they can be paying directly to the university some percentage. It depends on how your contract is with them. All right. So that is something that I want you guys to know. You can pay your tuition fee instrumentally. Another thing is that there is no proof of funds. So in Russia, you don't need to come here thinking that, oh, I have to have one block account somewhere or 35 million or 65 million, like my counterpart here said. For Australia, you don't need any proof of funds for Russia. Another thing I want you guys to know is that Russia is very secure at the moment, guys. Russia is very secure. Like, I used to hear people, they say there's war in Russia. I'm like, how many of you have seen me on this call shouting, oh yeah, take cover, take cover, there's a bomb or something? I just feel like everybody have this different mentality because they watch TV, they watch CNN, they watch Al Jazeera and all of those things. But judging from we that we are here, we are actually, there's no security problem. In fact, I would say, I don't know, Mazi Titi is no longer here, but I would say even the US is more dangerous than any other place. So Russia is very, very secure because you guys know the president, which is Vladimir Putin, is a very powerful man. Another one I would like to say is that the road to residency permit, which I already spoke about, which is the road to residency, which is residence permit, is very easy as a student. So you don't need to be married to anybody or do anything extra to literally get it. And that's one of the good things about Russia. I myself personally have a residence permit. And when I finish here, I also got like a I don't know how to put it, but like a grant to further in plastic surgery in Moscow. So it's like these opportunities are a lot for like a lot of foreigners, because we don't really have as much foreigners as that of the Canadas and all of that. And I don't know why people are not coming anyways. I'm not gonna lie, because Russia is affordable and it's very cool and it can be a stepping stone. And the last thing I would like to say is that people used to say this, but this is our slogan here, guys. Russia is cold, but Canada is colder. Guys, Russia is good because everybody is just seeing Russia like a very cold haven and stuff. I'm literally just wearing this for fashion, for swag, because I'm a model here myself. But Russia is literally, it's cold, but Canada is even colder. But if we are to look at other cities like Yakut and all of those places, Yakut is the coldest city in the world. Doesn't mean that the whole of Russia is cold, because even Moscow is different. And in Russia, we have 7 different time zones. Like right now, I'm in Yekaterinburg. I'm 4 hours ahead of Nigeria. Moscow is 2 hours ahead of Nigeria. Yakut is 7 hours ahead of Nigeria. So different time zones. So sometimes it is just like that. So that is it for everything I have to
Thank
say.
you
So if you
so
want
much,
to
brother.
talk to us, you can
Thank
reach
you
out.
so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome,
Thank you
sir.
so
You're welcome,
much.
sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeti, it's you and I left, eh?
Yes, doctor. And it has always been you and I from the beginning, anyways.
From the beginning,
Honestly.
yes.
So,
All
guys,
right,
if you want
doctor.
anything UK, I'm your go-to person, especially if you want to go via the study route. Like I always say, it's very easy to come to the UK via the study route. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time because I've already explained it earlier. If you're looking to relocate with your family members as well, as long as you have the money, you can still consider the study route. So you can always reach out to me on Instagram at Yeti Splash, or you reach out to my travel agency that I found there. That is @_the Travelingo. So @_the Travelingo. But if you definitely land on Yeti Splash page, you will definitely take you to the Travelingo. So I wish you all the best in your travel journey. Like Wakawaka will always say, as long as where you're going to, it doesn't matter whether it's the UK, the US, anywhere, as long as where you're going to is way better than where you're coming from, then the sky is the limit. So have a great evening, guys.
There you go, guys. The sky is the limit. Over the last 2.5 hours, I've brought excellent facilitators from different countries, from the US, from the UK, from Canada, from Australia, from Russia, across Europe, to come share with you. Of course, if you want to go to the UK and you're interested and you need someone to help you, heard for yourself, you can reach out to Yeti on Instagram. It's Yeti Splash, YETTY SPLASH, Yeti Splash on Instagram. If you're interested across Europe, you can reach out to Mazi TT. On Instagram, it is MaziTT305. Okay, Mazi TT, MAZITT305 on Instagram. If you're interested in Russia, you don't have money, you are poor like a church rat, you don't have money, but you're looking for the best option for you, Russia might be the one. You can reach out to Femi K on Air on Instagram, Femi K on Air, which is FEMIKON K-A-Y-O-N-A-I-R. F-E-M-I-K-A-Y-O-N-A-I-R. If you're interested in moving to Canada, you want to be in Canada. Canada has its own advantages, one of the best countries in the world. Of course, you can reach out to InfoPlace Canada on Instagram as well. InfoPlace Canada, INFO. PLACE InfoPlace Canada. You can reach out to them. Then I've got a very excellent career coach in Dr. Olubamiji. She can help you get jobs anywhere in the world. If you want job, work visa, anywhere in the world, you can reach out to Dr. Olubamiji on Instagram. It is Dr. Dr. Olubamiji, Olubamiji, Dr. Olubamiji on Instagram. I've shared all the contacts of everybody. It is up to you to take advantage.
Oh, sorry. You haven't shared the contact of the Australian lady.
Sorry, yes, for Australia, I forgot that. For Australia, we have Jane Kenix, Janekennix, Janekennix, Jane Kenix. For Australia, you can reach out to her on Instagram as well. We cannot talk about all the countries in the world. This is probably, I mean, we were only 6 today, and this took us 2.5 hours. Everybody's got work. I've got to sleep. Yeti has got a baby she needs to look after. You can see Mazititi has a meeting, is run away. Everybody has got stuff to do. We can only take it one step at a time. But Yeti, thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to every other person who attended this and to every other person who watched. I'm hoping that we can do this more often as well. Till I see you again. For Australia, those who are asking is Jane Kenix, Janekennix, Janekennix. Thank you very much, Yeti. And to everybody, cheers, guys. Bye.
Guys.
It's Wakawaka Doctor, and I'm signing out.